This is Jamie. Welcome to SciFi Vision for January 6th. And I don't even have my camera open. I'm doing real good right now. Welcome. I see we already have Trey and Doc. Thanks, guys, for dropping by.
Hello, everybody.
I'm telling everybody to join. I'm posting it. But welcome, everybody. I know Doc also I was just going to say he's going to be starting his From Academy back up with Scarlett and Julie. So that's coming back soon. So that's cool. But welcome, guys. And let's see. We're going to start.
Hi, Karen.
I don't know if we're going to start with Pluribus. Hi, Karen. We have Pluribus tonight. We have Percy Jackson. And we have the first two episodes of Harlan Coben's Runaway, which I just got done watching a few minutes ago. And we also have the end of Stranger Things we'll touch on and do kind of a really quick review, since we did do a whole show about it that you guys can see that live stream if you want, if you missed that. And yeah, that's about it, other than we're getting closer to setting up dates for our interview show. At least one of them is going to be the beginning of February. The other one we're still setting up, but yeah, that's about it. But please, everyone, like the video, hype it if you can, subscribe to SciFi Vision and all that fun stuff. And thanks for coming. So you guys want to do Pluribus first, or not that we have to?
Yeah,
let's
start with Pluribus.
All right. So I was going to say, Karen, you weren't here. Well, actually, that's right. We didn't do it at all last week because you weren't here. I was going to say you weren't here. Yeah. We weren't here either. But what did you think of Pluribus? Since I said that, first.
You mean what I thought of these last two, or what I thought of it overall? And I'm just grabbing some.
I think we just have the finale, don't we? Or did we not do the one before that? Okay,
we just have the finale.
I thought the finale was good. I mean, there was several scenes in this that really stuck with me, including the I guess it's the cold open when they convert the Quechua young girl. Her name is Oh, it'll come to me in a second what her name is. I mean, that was a very kind of disturbing scene, actually. And, you know, Carol's feelings and what she goes through in this were all, you know, really kind of stuck with me also. And then, you know, the ending is a little bit of a cliffhanger. In as much as this show can have a cliffhanger, it's not a very cliffhanger-y show, right? But, I mean, you know, people are calling this Chekhov's atom bomb online. And if you
I don't know that they're going to set off an atom bomb unless they want to be done with the show. There may not be.
Yeah, I don't know that Carol would do that. But, I mean, there was some. Anyway, I'll table that for now. But, you know, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good ending to this season. I think there are some people, and in some ways I agree, that, like, more happened, but you know, this whole season was 71 days. I mean, you know, our favorite show, the first season, was 48 days, and a lot more happened. But
yeah,
very different shows, though.
Very different shows, and so yeah, I enjoyed this. How about you guys?
Fair enough. What did you think, AJ?
Yeah, no, I liked it too. You know, it's funny. I kept thinking when Minusos got there, I was like, oh, Jamie will be happy.
Oh yeah, I know. I thought about too how I had complained so much about
I mean, I really love the complexity of Carol, because it's like, on one hand, we know she's gathering information, but on the other hand, once Minusos got there, she was very mine.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, you know, she's mine. You can't talk to her. She's mine.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I'll talk when you're done. I don't wanna...
You know, and I mean, the ending was just great. Like, and it's so funny because, like, she's having it flown in, and Artie immediately goes, "It's a bomb," and I was like, "You think it's the A bomb?" I'm like, "Already?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then, sure enough, and then she's like, "Let's fucking kill them all."
Yeah. I think my main thing was through part of it, I was a little disappointed because I'm like, really, Carol? Like, is she still faking? And then you kind of figure out, like, it's not faking. She does, at least I don't think she is. She does seem to really be in love with her, which to me was kind of a complete turnaround. So I was a little disappointed in that sense, but I did enjoy the ending, and I'm glad we finally get to see Manny. I'll just say Manny. That's easier for me. Yeah, but I was a little disappointed that, but like at the same time, I get it. But it's just interesting because at the beginning of the season, there was like that whole conversation where she didn't think that remind me what his name is. I can't think of what his name is. The
Mr.
no,
D.
not Rizos, the other guy.
Mr. D.
That she was like appalled by the fact that he was like sleeping around with people and how, you know, they really didn't per se have a choice. And now she's in a relationship with, oh God, I'm losing my mind, with Zoja. And yeah, it's kind of like what she told him not to be, but at least she finally by the end is kind of turned back around to where she was, because she realizes that they don't care about her, that truthfully all they care about is turning her still. So it was a little sad to find that out, but I also really like interactions between Carol and Manussos too.
That's why I said, you know, Carol's complexity of the whole thing is interesting, because
I forgot my glasses.
She, you know, it's like she doesn't know which way to go sometimes, you know. And I almost felt like that whole montage with them and everything was kind of out of spite almost, because Manussos he's extreme. Even when Carol was like, you know, Manussos, you know what it is? Manussos is like, kill them, and Carol's like, no, we have to save them. And it's, you know, and now Carol realizes, oh fuck, they don't need my permission anymore. They're going to do this to me whether I want them to or not, and we need to stop that.
Yeah, which I also think, and we'll wait till we get a little bit closer to that, but I also have a lot of opinions on the fact that they're now suddenly on that train of doing that, because I question, and I think that's kind of the point that it brings up, is about the fact, like, why are they able to do that, and is that not, you know, taking life without?
But I mean, they were always clear that they didn't need her permission.
No,
they took the entire planet without permission.
Right, but my thoughts are they're using her frozen eggs. Like, is that not to them? I mean, if they can't even pull an apple off a tree because it's alive, how do they not consider that to be life that they're destroying in order to get stem cells?
That's at the heart of a huge political division.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I think that it brings
no, that's actually an excellent. No, from their perspective, that's an excellent question, Jamie.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that they're going to probably get into that next season, maybe to some extent. I don't know how much, but yeah, I don't know. I just think it's interesting because they're so adamant about everything else, but it's like they haven't even commented on that. Like, that's okay. It's just
well, that
weird.
would be great if that's actually a defense of Carol's, if she actually says to them, wait a minute, you know, exactly that. You guys can't pick an apple off a tree, but you can take my eggs, which are technically living.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. It just was something that surprised me, but I kind of like it because it's like bringing up more interesting questions, depending how they handle it, I guess, is more the answer to that. All right. Let me get up. I got too many windows open. Okay. So I forget what you said her name was. What did you say her name was?
Her name is give me 1 second to I remember it. I was trying to remember it, and hang on, Pluribus.
We haven't seen her since that one episode. That's why I forgot already.
Her name is
Samayu.
Her name.
I'm trying to see the pictures. Maybe not.
Hang on. I looked it up today, and her
Dorothea.
Dog says it's Dorothea.
No, her name is not Dorothea.
I didn't think so, but I'm like, well, that's what Dog said. Maybe Dog knows. No. I think that I'm trying to see the actress's picture. There's such tiny pictures. Yeah, I was right. It's I don't know how to say it, but Kusimai, at least that's what the Internet Movie Database says. That it's Kusimayo. But at any rate, did you guys remember who she was, or were you
Yes.
confused at first?
Oh yeah, I knew exactly who she was.
I just wondered because I kind of wondered if you were supposed to forget about, what this was, because it was a weird opening, the way they changed the way they opened it, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that. So it was interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Kelly, Kimberly, welcome.
The one thing I noticed about the whole, thing with the whole ritual and everything is, as soon as she was turned, the first thing she did was free the animals.
Yeah, the goats. Poor goats.
Yeah, well, yeah, because the first thing they were doing was leaving. Like, I found this whole thing kind of disturbing, really.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
First of all, the way, while Kusamayu is still a human or uninfected or whatever she is, I think Vince Gilligan has a name for them. They call them, what do they call them? Not the originals. But before she's otherized, they're acting like village people. They're dressed, they're absorbing. They're part of her culture and part of her community. And then as soon as they turn her, they're like, boom, this community. They appropriate the culture and then they eradicate the culture.
They're taking off.
I mean, this is like a unique culture that she was an indigenous culture that she's the last person of it, and I feel like if they have absorbed every single culture in the world, is the culture preserved or is the culture eradicated? Right? And I felt like leaving that baby goat behind was really symbolic of we're leaving it behind. And then the goat cried and followed her, and I wanted to cry for this baby goat. And why does every show on Apple have baby goats? Okay,
baby goats.
Just two, but.
Kimberly bothers them too. They don't want to cause any harm to the animals, but a lot of the animals have been domesticated and depend on their humans. Yeah, I mean, they did make that comment about the dog, about, if the animals wanted to stay with their owners, they let them stay. I appreciated that they at least put that in because we'd been complaining about it, but there would have been more than one animal. And a lot of animals, like goats, maybe aren't as, I don't want to say as smart as a dog or a cat. That's not the right word, but they don't know to do that. And they wouldn't necessarily stay there. They don't know that they're not going to be safe if they don't follow the people. You know what I mean? Well, so yeah, I do think that.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, we have been. But this poor baby goat.
I mean, we also see no children on this show. Where are all the children except for Lakshmi's one little boy that she insists on keeping? Yeah. There are no children on this show.
Yeah, the only other children we saw were the ones that told Carol where her key was.
And that was on day one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so I do feel like the goats are less dependent upon humans than a house cat or a house dog. Is that a thing? Right? Would be.
Yeah, I like child though says goats, aka kids. Maybe they're trying to say something. I don't know that they are, but.
And it was a little herd of goats, and they'll be fine. Those goats will be fine until a jaguar comes and eats them. But what? Right? Look, jaguars eat too, right? It's the cycle of life. I don't know how attached the goat is. I mean, the baby goat seems to be attached to its human, but I feel like goats are capable of surviving outdoors in a way that my cat who lived in my fourth floor condo for her entire life would never be able to survive, right?
Right.
But yeah, I thought this whole scene was very it was just so cold, and the way it was just so obvious. I mean, it really was sort of a parallel of what's happening with Carol and Zoja, right? That they're pretending to be what you want up until the minute you're converted, and they're whatever, okay, let's go eat some humans and relocate some food.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, it's so much of this show is disturbing in a way, as you say. It's very, very disturbing. And to be fair though, at least she was the one person who chose this out of all of them. She did have a choice and made this choice. She made a somewhat informed decision, I guess as informed as it could have been. Yeah, but it's still really creepy, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're assuming she must have donated her own stem cells to the potion, right?
Yeah, well, she had said at that brunch that they had that she couldn't wait to convert.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, the other part of the episode obviously is taken up with them waiting for Manusos to get there. I did really like the comedy of, like I said, of a lot of it once he got there, their whole interaction. But obviously Zosha leaves because that would not be good for him, and he would have taken off even faster if she was there. But yeah, I mean, you know from the beginning of the episode that they're still together. It seems like she's living with Carol. And I remember thinking, like, this is weird. And like, I kind of hope that it's not her. She isn't like that. She's faking it still, because I didn't want Carol to have, I guess, fallen for that, which changes by the end of the episode. But yeah, I was a little surprised that they were the way they were, but you know, I guess it makes sense. Carol was lonely. Carol's somewhat getting over her grief and moving on, and she misses company. And she likes Soja. So yeah, but I don't know. I was a little more disturbed by that, I think, for whatever reason.
Like
Like, no, Carol, don't give up. Like, that was what I kind of felt like at that moment.
she's being seduced by the dark side.
Yeah, yeah, basically, right?
They have cookies.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
So Zoja takes off whenever he's coming. There we go. And let's see. So he gets there, and I love it. They're annoying her. It's like, I'm not going in there. And she's like, you have to come in here. And they go back and forth with the phone. And I'm like thinking, if you're going to use anything, like using the phone to translate for you, at least makes sense if you don't want to use them, you know, instead of standing there trying to understand each other. And the fact when he threw the phone down the grate was great. Although I learned something new, that machetes are magnetic. I did not know that. So that's something, I guess.
You know, it's actually funny, that scene when he's trying to get the phone out of the grate. I'm thinking to myself, I was like, what's he going to try and do? Stab the phone and slide it up the side? I didn't realize she had a magnetic back on her phone.
Well, they're the charger, and it's magnetic.
and I don't know why he would assume she has a magnetic back on
No,
her.
the charge, is it an iPhone? Because
She does not. That's I've read
I
online.
don't know. I didn't. It looks like it might be. I'm just saying that because the charger, the Q5 charger, is magnetic on the back of the phone.
I've read online that she's one of the rare Apple TV characters who's not carrying an Apple phone, but I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was. It looked.
You
Apple.
go, Carol.
My
If it's
phone-
Apple, it's
my
magnetic.
phone
True
is not
Apple.
magnetic.
I don't know.
I don't know
It's not
why he would think that, but whatever. I mean, of
You
all
noticed when he grabbed it from her and threw it in the sewer grate.
okay. I mean, I think that he was not. I think he was not wrong to say, look, they're going to listen on the phone. They probably control the airwaves. They get right.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't matter if they hear them or not. They can't stop them from whatever they're planning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Let's just go with it has wireless charging, and therefore it's magnetic.
Okay. Whatever.
And she did put it on airplane mode, so.
Yeah, she did. Although I don't know that a translation thing would work without the internet, but I don't know. I guess it depends.
I let that one go actually because I thought the same thing.
Well, they tried to talk without that and kind of go back and forth because neither is willing to give until he finds out that she is talking to Zoja. I think that's what's next. I should go a little bit forward. Hold on.
So I read an interview. Vulture published an interview with Carlos Manuel Vega, who plays this role, who plays Manusos, and he said they did this scene for his audition, but they didn't have, like, when they filmed it. So when they did it in the audition, but when they film it, there was an actor being the voice of the phone, right?
Okay.
And that actor is talking in their ears, so they're reacting. They have like an ear thing, so the actor is reacting. But when they did it in the audition, they used a real phone, and they really were. He speaks fluent, obviously fluent Spanish, and he speaks fluent English. Ray Seahorn doesn't speak Spanish, and so they used a real cell phone for the audition. And he, it tells kind of an interesting story that the audition, it was like kind of really real the way they
more organic that way, I would think.
Yeah.
Really real. Yes, organic's a better word, Jamie. Thank you.
That's okay. You've got your powers from the COVID vaccine. That's funny, Doug. So she finally does get him to come in the house. That's a good picture of him. Even though he is not trusting at all and starts looking for bugs everywhere. I got to give it to him. That was smart. I actually thought maybe he was going to find something, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, do they need to bug her house? I mean, because they can't lie and they're around all the time. I don't know that they really needed to.
Like, they can't lie, but that doesn't mean they can't work against her. They just can't
No,
lie.
no. I'm just saying I was kind of wondering if maybe they were going to find something. I'm just saying I don't know.
Oh, they found something. All right.
They did, but it wasn't
Not what they was expecting.
I thought he might find a bug in the house. I thought Zoja might have planted a bug in the house, and I could see them doing that to try to listen to them. Only if Carol says, "Please don't put a bug in my house," would they maybe not put a bug, right?
Yeah,
Right?
and that's true. And technically, if she didn't ask him not to, then that would be her fault, right? I guess. But yeah, they find. Wait, this is I think before that, where the hell's the cupboard? There it is. He finds a device in there that I guess it tells them when the cupboard's open. Just for her.
Yeah.
And it was
Helen put it in there so she would know when she was getting drunk.
Yeah, because they were. I think wasn't it supposed to be because this is when they were talking about maybe having a baby.
I think they were actually having fertility treatment at the time.
Yeah, they were actively planning to have a baby, and she didn't want her getting drunk. So they found out that she was spying. I don't want to say spying, not exactly, kind of on her wife, and that it had nothing to do with Zoja. But of course, he flips out, which made sense.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Do you have the shot of Zoja explaining it to Carol later?
Yeah, I think I have a shot of them talking. Yeah. I don't know if that's the shot you wanted or not.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, what follows is that Zoja has to tell Carol that Helen put it there. I thought that was really powerful and heartbreaking for Carol, right? Like, Ray Seaborn was great in that. She's like, I mean, like, they say they can do no harm to Carol, but they're certainly doing, like, they're hurting her, certainly. This is the second, first this season, she learned that Helen really didn't like her books, right? Mm-hmm. And Helen thought she was wasting her time and she could do so much better. And now she's learned that, Helen was like spying on her. And I think they're definitely hurting Carol.
Yeah, they could have gotten rid of it at any time if they really wanted to not hurt Carol.
They could say, we don't know what that is, right? Like, we didn't put that there. We don't know what it is. But but
if they had her memories, they knew what it was. So that
I'm saying they didn't have to say it, right? If their number
but they did know because Carol asked.
Yeah, as soon as Carol asked, they told. But it's like they could have gotten it or whatever before, and they chose not to
because they can't lie. They can't, or they. Right. It appears that they can't lie. It appears they can't. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that the not lying thing isn't a long con.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It makes you wonder, because it would make sense if they are lying. Because how would she know? I mean, really, if they're pretending they can't lie and they're telling her the truth when she needs the truth, there's no way to know that. So that's kind of interesting.
I think they can omit, but I think the whole not lying thing is solid.
I kind of think it might be because it's kind of like we're told that and you're expected to believe it for it to make sense, but I could see it ending up being not true, Hey, Alice, long time no see. I don't think Alex hasn't been here for a while, I don't think, but hi, Alex. So through the course of this, he clearly realizes that she is with Zoja, but he wants to talk to her and gets her alone to have a conversation.
Which
as in Zoja. Isn't it Zoja he talks to, or does he talk to the other man first?
Carol walks in and catches him talking to Zoja.
Okay, that's what I thought.
This is what the shot is, and it reads like a big betrayal, right? Like almost like Zoja's cheating on her.
Yes, it's definitely set up to be that way. But all she's doing is answering his questions. But to Carol, like you said earlier, it is like mind. Like you're not allowed to talk to her. She's my girlfriend, And I kind of question where that comes from. If that's like from a place of loneliness, of grief, I don't know. It's interesting. What do you think about why she's like so protective and doesn't even want him talking to her? Or is it more that she doesn't want to admit I question maybe she doesn't want to admit even to herself that she is falling for her and that she is accepting what they are in a sense. Maybe she can't accept that she's accepting. Does that make sense? I'm going in a circle. It's not coming out the right way. But
I know what you're trying to say.
maybe you could say that.
I felt like at first that it was, she wanted to talk, give Manusso's her take on everything. And by talking to them, if he asks the right question, then they're going to say things about Carol and that she doesn't want him to know yet, perhaps. Or it gets taken out of context. She wants to be, I feel like she wanted to be able to tell him, listen, I'm collecting evidence, trying to, it's not what it looks like, something to that effect. So he just didn't want, she didn't want him talking to anybody. The fact that he was talking to Zosia, it went a little differently, and it became, she's mine, you can't talk to her. And then he immediately is like, send me another one.
I think she might be a little embarrassed. So Carol thought she was a big rebel and a big resistor, she's a one-woman resistance and she's a rebel, and now she meets a person who is like Carol's not, Manusso's is a radical. Carol is not a radical. If you want to, I shouldn't say radical, but like Manusso's has had, he refuses to have the slightest interaction with any of them at all, right? And Carol, I think, maybe kind of realizes a little bit that her rebellion is weakening. It's not, that she's not, here's a person who's really, I don't know, I think maybe she could see a little bit how she had begun to be seduced, and yet right? I'm not articulating this really well, but I felt like there was,
I know what you mean.
I think part of her also maybe fears for Zosia's safety a little bit. Like, is he, he's so violently anti-others, like, is Zosia safe with him? And Kelly says they had told her that he could be dangerous. So I thought he might hurt Zosia. Yeah. And,
it's interesting too, because in a way he's already being corrupted, because he won't talk to them. He won't acknowledge them, anything. He wants to talk under a pink umbrella so that they can't spy on them. He doesn't, he wants to talk in the back of the ambulance. And now all of a sudden he's questioning them. He went pretty quickly, after meeting Carol, from I don't want to see them, I don't want to talk to them, to calling them on the phone.
Yeah, I don't know if he knew he could call them on the phone because he's never spoken to them. I don't, know if he knew that up until now.
Well, they tried calling him. We do know that they tried calling him, because when he talked to Carol, he was like, "I'm not talking to you."
You're right. But I think in this episode, I don't think we ever see him talking to them as anything but like a scientific subject.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So he's doing, in a way, he's doing what Carol should have expected him to do. That's what they were supposed to be doing, was figuring out how to stop this. And he's kind of comes there and he's like, I'm trying to find things out. Why are you stopping me? So it makes sense. That's why I was kind of saying, like, is she maybe uncomfortable with the fact that she seems to be on the outside okay with it? Or she's becoming more okay with it almost. Like, maybe she's still trying not to be changed. But like, if she's that adamant that they're this bad thing that she has to reverse, why is she like, living with one of them? It's just a little. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a little strange, and I wonder if she questions how it looks.
She's so lonely. They left her alone for 40 days. We've talked about that as basically a form of solitary confinement that breaks people, right?
Manusso's has been alone this whole time.
But he chose it. He chose it. It wasn't inflicted, like Carol had it inflicted on her as a punishment, sort of, as a, it was removed by the others. He chose it, and enforced it. And he's, I don't know, a different person.
Kimberly has a good point here. She thinks that the isolation played a major impact on her mental health, which could explain why she is how she is right now.
Yeah. Also, Manusso's, I was reading a few things today, and I saw someone, referred to Carol is like a first-class citizen, and Manusso's was, apparently I missed this part, but apparently he had emigrated from Colombia to Paraguay where he was living, and he was a guy, he was not a person probably who had the advantages that Carol had in her life, and he's maybe a little more equipped to deal with hardship in a way that Carol is like been pampered, it appears, at least since her book came out. And she I think she's really broken. I mean, she lost her wife, and then she lost all of society, and then she was basically placed in solitary for 40 days, and they broke her, right? And now she, like, they have created in Zosha like everything Carol thinks she wants.
Yeah. But also, where'd it go? Kelly makes a good point though too. If they cure them, then she don't, like Zosha might be pissed and not want to be around her. But I don't know. Like, I guess the question is, which is more important to her? Like, is she care about Zosha so much that she's not going to keep pushing this issue of trying to reverse what happened? Because she does seem like maybe she's in love with her, or at least it's portrayed like she might be. Tell,
I mean, there's another factor to it too, is even if she's successful and they turn everybody back, she's still alone because Helen's dead.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe she's like I'll do it tomorrow type of thing too. It could be.
If they turn back, Zosha might not even speak English. She might want to go home to Turkey or where she came from, right? She might have people there. Just because she wasn't married. Like, I know that Carol asked if Zosha had somebody, but just because she doesn't have a romantic partner doesn't mean she doesn't have people and things in her life that she
well, this is why I still want the question answered. What do the individuals remember if they leave the hive? Because if they don't remember anything, then as far as they're concerned, they've been asleep for however long it's been. If they remember everything, that makes things very icky.
Terrible. Yeah, I mean, we've watched shows where people, like, while they're, like, I'm watching Supernatural now. Like, there are people who, like, while they're possessed, it's like they're in there watching their body do all these things that they're not in control of, right? Like, is it like that? And would you really feel violated by Carol? Like, that you didn't consent to, like, you didn't consent.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, Zosha, the person that Zosha was before, didn't consent to have her body do all these things, right? And for Carol to have sex with her, right? Is this really that different than Mr. D with all of his women on the Air Force One?
No, he just has more of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I thought it was so interesting, because especially after she was so like upset that Zosha was being violated before, and she's doing the same thing. Like, you don't get that Zosha isn't choosing you either. I mean, it's the same thing. And to begin with, I don't even know. Look, I don't know if they're capable of caring about Carol in that way, but I think whatever it is, she's doing what she wants because they want to placate Carol and make her happy.
I think
for her in the end.
I think collectively, because they're a collective, they do love the humans that haven't turned yet. Just not in a romantic way.
Yeah.
In a kumbaya kind of way.
Yeah. In humans with cults and cult-like communities, including work-relating, detaching from the hive also creates a lot of issues. Yeah.
I like what Kelly just said. If they keep all the memories, then they'll know everyone's secrets, so there'll be a lot of mad people.
I want to see that.
That's really what I want to know is, do they keep the collective memories, or do they keep the memories of the individual, the things they've done while they were part of the collective? Like are they like the Borg? Yeah. The Borg was a hive mind collective, but when they become non-Borg, they have their memories of the things they did, but not like whatever else was thinking all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get what Doc's saying though too, that if they do disconnect, like, is it going to really affect them? And also, could it even be? I'm sorry, I bring up Shield too much, but I'm thinking about it because we're saying hive. Like, could there be some kind of, like, once they disconnect, they don't want to be disconnected, and that there's like a residual,
Yes. Well, that's
the Borg
question we need answered.
That's very Borgy also.
Yeah, I don't want my bosses to know what I think and do. Yeah, I don't think anybody does. That's great.
Oh.
All right. So the other thing is, after this, is she knows that he's going to do something, and she warns Carol. And I guess the idea is that whatever he's doing something that he thinks will, turn them back.
Well, we don't know. In this scene right here, we don't know.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know yet.
When Carol yelled at people, when Carol yelled at Zosia, like 100,000 people died, right?
Yeah, but it seems to be having the same impact as this. But it's actually, we find out after that he's tuned the radio to that station.
Well, he hasn't done that yet.
No.
Okay.
At this point,
we don't try to fix them. That's right.
We don't know what he actually did at this point, but the immediate aftermath of this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because the phone starts ringing, and they're just like sitting there, and Zosia's like, "You want me to tell you who that is?" And she's like, "I know who it is." And then she answers the phone, and she's like, "Lakshmi, it wasn't me this time. Nice talking to you."
I love that. Yeah, that was really great. That was great. But yeah, hey Dieter. But yeah, after they start that's when he turns the radio on, right? Or is it just we know it? That's what he's doing to try to fix it.
Now he's Now he's doing the radio. Yeah.
This is what's happening in the other house that Carol doesn't know about. Carol sees Zosia fall to the ground, right? She doesn't know what's happening next.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I couldn't remember. Okay, so he is talking to the other
Rick,
and
Rick.
I don't.
Who cares?
But trying to bring him out of this, and thinks that maybe that radio band or something is connected. I was thinking that was what knocked him out into this, but you're right that we don't know that.
Yes, he could be. We don't know that. We don't know whether that radio signal made this guy go into a trance.
Yeah, which I'd like to know what he did. I mean, that's kind of important. Like, why is this radio signal different in the first place? Is it hidden messages in the signal? I mean, we really don't know.
Nobody knows. I have a theory, but he doesn't know. Manusos doesn't know. He just heard some static on that one band, and now he's like,
I mean, there's definitely something with that. So I think that was a pretty logical and smart idea that he attempted.
Yeah, that's what Scott says. I think he was smart doing this. He got the business quickly. He did do it really quick. He didn't take as long as she did to try something, that's for sure.
Well, he's not going to, I mean, he's been driving alone up the entire continent for a long time. He's had a lot of time to think about this, right? And he's got his whole little book. But I saw somebody describe this as he's throwing spaghetti on the wall and trying to see what sticks.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Perfect
so metaphor. What's your theory, though? I want to know what your theory is.
Well, let's move on to see what's. So, I mean, we don't have to move on because that's the last time we see the radio signal. I think.
That's why.
Right? I mean, I think that's the hive. Like they need that signal is what's connecting them as a hive mind. And
I like that.
And it's not
when he's playing that signal. So isn't that kind of the opposite, though?
What?
Whenever they're having that seizure, he's actually has that sound coming out, though. So that confuses me.
We don't know if he's tuning it to what he's doing with it. We don't. I don't know.
They need it on one of the channels.
Maybe it's feedback. Maybe if you're getting it beamed into your brain and then someone also plays it in your ear, you get overloaded. We don't really know what it is, right? But I think let me finish. I'm sorry, but you told me the other day that if we're talking about
shut up. I know. I talk much. I know I do. Go ahead.
And you could tell me shut up. But I think that so they need her stem cells because somehow we know that this virus or whatever it is RNA based, right? And and it's in their RNA that they're immune. But I think whatever's going on, she's immune to that signal. Like whatever that virus did, it made people able to receive the signal. And she's immune to the virus, so she can't get the signal, right? And I think that you need both. I think you need to be infected. Sorry, my turtle's jumping around. I think you need to be infected and you need to receive the signal. That's what the antenna is for, right? They're going to, when they beam it to other planets or whatever. So, that's what I think I don't know what it is. I think you need both, though.
Yeah. Kimberly says maybe they can deprogram one and get some of these questions to figure out how to proceed. Look, I definitely would think next season there's a good chance that they're going to turn somebody back. Although I don't know that they necessarily need the radio signal. I think I've heard other people, or like when I've looked online, I've seen other people say this too. We have the scene whenever Carol is talking to Zosia about the ice cream and everything, and she seems to be like remembering that individual part of her. I kind of think that might be the key to bringing them out. But the radio signal could do the same thing. I mean, I don't know. But I think he's tuning to a frequency that counters the high frequency. Opposing frequencies could negate or neutralize each other. That's how noise canceling headphones work. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I think the radio signal definitely has something to do with something. How it works, how it plays out is yet to be seen.
Yeah.
Just quickly to answer your question, Scarlett, we are going to talk about Stranger Things a bit, but we were saving it for the end. That way, we're also close to January 7th, whatever the hell happens. It has to do with Stranger Things. It's a long story, but yeah, we are going to get on to Stranger Things, but we're saving it till the end. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. I was gonna. I think Scarlett's comment up here maybe. He got the thorns from the horrible tree and more motivation than Carol does. He thought they had lost their souls, which is a very good metaphor. I mean, that is a kind of a good metaphor to what I mean. They've lost everything that really makes them an individual, right? And maybe from this frequency, maybe from. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, it's nice that it gives them like a two-pronged attack, right? Like, like can you? I mean, find a way medically to undo the virus, the RNA changes or whatever, or can you just use like a
brute force attack, basically?
Well, and if the frequency's involved, it would be easier if they could find a way. You could broadcast it to more people than having to go around one by one to vaccinate people or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
it's like spraying when they aerosolize the
There's an easier way. Lick a box of donuts and say, "Who wants one?"
Yeah. There you go. Spit in the human milk though, because I think if we had like known that he was going to do this even an episode ago, I think that I would have assumed Carol would have jumped on board and did everything she could to help him figure it out. And now she's like, no, we're not doing this. We have to save these people. And she, I mean, he can tell right away.
Carol's always wanted to save them. She's always wanted to turn it back.
She's always wanted to save them, but she's also been trying to turn them back. And she is like not down with what he does in this case. And because she's so worried about Zosia, and I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, I think there's more to that though.
Differently.
I don't think that's just Zosia though, because she already feels guilty for the people she killed when she screamed at everybody.
Well, just to be fair, they're having seizures. Well, I guess some of them would probably.
Right. Not. Yes. But I mean, what Minusos is doing, while completely valid, he doesn't know the consequences. So while he's trying to cure everybody, he's killing more people because he doesn't know that.
Maybe she should have explained that and said, "Hey, you got to stop. There are people around the world dying while you do this." That would have actually been a good way. So the point is that Minusos is a little upset because she's not down with it. She's protecting her girlfriend. He knows thinks she's in love with her, and he's kind of like, he didn't know that going in, and now he's not sure what to do. And he knows she's not willing to help him really until she figures out what's going on. And now they're going to leave him too. That's the other thing. I mean, Zosia kind of says like, we're leaving. If you're staying with him, we got to go. Because I guess they look at it the same as what Carol did to them. He's trying to go against them or whatever it is. It's a crime punishable by the solitary confinement. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Yeah. Because I think, couldn't they just not come to the house? Like, do they have to vacate the entirety of Albuquerque? Couldn't they just
kind of harsh.
We're just not coming to your house and letting you talk to us, right? Like to vacate the entire area seems extreme, and like we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Like, this was a plan. Did they really leave for their safety, or as Jamie says, it's punishable by solitary confinement? It's a tactic, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely think it's a tactic. One that Carol is not willing to, I guess, live through again. So she decided to go on vacation with her girlfriend. No, this is where I just thought it was a little bizarre.
Wait, go back. All right. Well, I don't know if we're ever going to be able to find this shot again to talk about Scarlett's comment. So let's just take it. Go ahead. All right. No,
Scarlett's seeing rainbows.
Yeah. That now Zoja is wearing blue and Carol's wearing orange in this shot, right? And Scarlett says the colors blue and white represent the hive, orange and yellow is the unhived Carol. But there's been a lot of red and pink in these last 2 episodes, representing Carol's lust and love for Zoja.
Could be.
Oh my God, Vince Gilligan would love you.
I know, right? I do want to also bring up her other comment. I had forgotten about that. And, I never thought about it of the side of this is negativity. I more thought of it as they're going against them. But it also is negativity. I mean, it may not be screaming, but it's upsetting, to them anyway. So maybe, I don't know, that could be sort of connected. I don't know. I hadn't thought about it that way before. But, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You ready? I don't want to go on. So then they go on their date and they spend time together through, I'm assuming, they could be going to different parts of the world that are in different.
They are.
Seasons. But I was kind of more assuming they're showing a season passing, but maybe I was not correct. It's hard to tell.
So I thought time was passing more like dramatically. And then when they come back, they show the time and it appears they've been gone for like 3 days.
Oh, that's right. It does have another time, doesn't it? 4 days. You're right.
They went to what looks like maybe they're in are they in Tokyo in that previous quest? Where are they in that previous shot? They're in a high rise in a major city somewhere. And now they're at a ski resort with a gondola. And I'm thinking, it's not in the East. It's in the West or in Europe or something where they are, right? They're traveling pretty far.
Yeah. They got to be in a different.
And yet Carol's wearing blue at the ski resort. Okay, she is. Because she's coming to the other side. Going to the dark
side. It looks like her jacket's pink and red and orange too, which is interesting because she's shed that for right now because you can see it sitting on the couch. Okay, never mind. That's Zoja's. I thought that was hers. But yeah. It's interesting, but this is where I was kind of like, no, why? And I was hoping that she was faking. Like I said, I kind of get it. She is lonely, but I'm like, she spent this whole season trying to resist this. And now she's drinking the Kool-Aid. What the hell, Carol? Was kind of where I was going with this.
I gotta say, I felt it felt kind of spiteful because of Minusos.
Oh, I hadn't thought about it that way. Yeah, but I more felt that she's in love with her.
I feel like it's kind of worse than Mr. Diabate. Mr. Diabate, is she the same as Mr. Diabate? It's almost worse. Like Diabate, what he's doing is not. We've talked about it a lot, but he's like, look, they're going to convert me, and I'm just going to live large until they convert me, and I'm just going to live the life. He probably was not a wealthy man also, and he's but Carol is different because I feel like Carol is not this is not living out my last days. She's
having a relationship.
Well, she's is she trying to think that this could? Is she really just? I don't know. Could she have just been trying to have 3 beautiful days with Zoja before she goes back? I don't think so. It's the egg conversation that turns her here, right?
Yeah. Yes. By Eggy, welcome. I agree with Scarlett though that Carol wants the love that Zoja can't give her. I don't think they can give her that at all. And I think that either. Part of it.
Maybe she's gonna. Maybe when she turns them all back, she's gonna say to Zoja, "Hey, I'm really sorry, but I had to get close to one of you." Or one of the hives, so I could figure out how to turn everybody back.
Yeah, I would love.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Yeah, no, if it was on, I would have been happy. But I think Carol truly is, in love with her, or thinks she's in love with her. I don't know that she's in love with her, but thinks she is. Or in like with her, whatever, infatuation with her, not necessarily.
How about in lust with her?
In lust with her, that too.
But. So I'm not going to take credit for this idea, but I've seen this described as an abusive relationship and that the hive is gaslighting Carol. And they've created this they selected Zoja because she looks like Carol's character in her book. And they're using, they have access to everything that about Carol's relationship with Helen and every conversation she's had with any living person. And they're gaslighting her, they're manipulating her, they're grooming her, they're using Doja. I have a friend named Doja. Using Zoja in a way to like, this is manipulative, and like they say they love her, and they are
in that way.
Not
but is
in
it
the
also,
way
it could be even just a stalling tactic though too.
could be.
Like, let's give Carol what she thinks she
wanna-
try to give her what she wants so that she'll quit trying because we're almost there.
I want to address Golden Child's question. In what way do you mean Golden Child? Would you look at things the same if the gender roles were reversed, like two men, or if it wasn't two women? Like, I don't understand what you mean.
Carol was straight and they had sent a man to her, or if Carol was a man and they'd sent a woman to her.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he means, but I mean, if that's what he means, I think I'd be looking at it the same way. At least I don't see why that is a difference. Although I think that maybe it seems a little less threatening to viewers, maybe than if it had been a man. But other than that,
so you guys think he's asking if Carol was a man doing this to Zoe, would be looked differently?
Oh,
I mean,
I guess if Carol was a man, maybe we wouldn't feel like it was gaslighting as much, which is bad. But I don't know if it would come across the same way it should. But I don't know.
I feel it would come across the same way no matter what.
I would hope it would, but I don't know.
I mean, I think what Karen said though, about Carol in a way being a little worse because she wants to turn people back, yet she's doing with Zoja exactly what Diabate is doing with the others, but he's planning on converting. So for him, there's no negativity.
To have the cake and eat it too. In other words,
yeah, I mean, Diabate looks at it as there's no negativity from it because he's not trying to change them back. So he's having fun as a human, and then he's going to become part of the hive, and no harm, no foul. Whereas Carol's doing this in hopes of turning them back. So there could be harm.
Yeah, although I don't like what Carol's doing with Zoja on this trip. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure this is a con though. I think Carol actually really cares about her, or at least that's the impression I got.
Yes.
I think that she still wants to turn him back, but I think that she truly cares about Zoja, and I think maybe she's stalling herself, like I'll do it later type of thing, because right now I'm enjoying this time with her, and not thinking it through quite as much. But this is where.
Hey Doc, Hey Doc, that's an entire different podcast and perspective of the show.
No, I mean, they basically took like her dream woman, right? I mean, that does make a difference if you think about it that way. Like, if it was your dream man, your dream woman that was there that wanted you, like, would it make a difference? It might. I mean, that's a good point though.
Yeah.
Carol versus the where'd it go? Carol versus the guy that had all the girls, or Carol versus Manusos?
Yeah.
Ben Barnes can steal my steps.
Yeah. And Scarlett's in the chat bringing up, something we talked about. I think before Scarlett got here was like, what if they wake Zoja up and we said, what if she doesn't know English? But like Carol puts, what if they wake Zoja up and she's not lesbian? Right?
I heard that too. Yeah, I kind of wondered that because she didn't.
maybe she'll have a different outlook on it. Maybe she'll.
Yeah. Hi, just me. Let's see. Oh, we're not to that yet. We're getting to that. Just me. We're not.
Holy shit, Justin Fields.
Woo, Justin.
I thought just me read that. They're both got the same icon. Hi, Justin. We're gonna do Stranger Things. We're not there yet. We'll start and we'll get to it.
We're gonna move this along quickly.
So let's talk about the issue. What happens here? And I felt like this was kind of the like oh shit, oh my god, like this was kind of like the I don't want to say heartbreaking exactly, but it was like oh no kind of feeling. I don't know this. That to me anyway. Happy New Year, Justin. That. Yeah, she finds out that this whole time, obviously she knows that Zoja, at this point for sure, she knows that Zoja doesn't feel like she does, because Zoja is still like, oh, we're still going to turn you, although I don't know that Carol's completely given up, to be fair. But this is where we find out that they do not now need her permission because they are taking the stem cells from eggs that she had frozen. And I think that maybe we had said something about this earlier in the season. I feel like when she said she froze them, didn't we have a conversation?
We did have a conversation about her egg.
Like I said, my biggest question about this and why they aren't addressing it is, like I said, they won't even pull an apple off of a tree, but yet they're not considering her eggs to be life that they're destroying. That I kind of take issue with, but not necessarily in a bad way. Like, I want to see that conversation. I think it's an interesting conversation to be had that I think they haven't gotten to yet. But it really moves up the time, changes everything if they don't need her permission now. Sorry, go ahead.
But I mean, they may feel that those eggs are not useful if they're not fertilized and somebody carries them, and they don't really intend to create more humans. Like, the plan is that they're all going to eventually die out in 10 years. Like, their plan is like, well, we don't, we can't even pick an apple, so eventually we'll all starve to death, but that's okay because the virus will live on to another planet, right? This is like one of those viruses that gets inside that lays its eggs, like, these bugs that lay their eggs inside another bug, and then the babies eat it from the inside out, and the host is dead at the end. The babies go on or whatever. Like, I'm not making a good metaphor, but their plan is not the preservation and continuation of the human race.
No, but if we're to believe they don't lie, they try to preserve any life no matter what. That's kind of the point. And it, to me, saying an apple that's an apple is alive and they're hurting it by picking it, and yet saying we can destroy eggs that can become human, that to me doesn't compute. It doesn't match.
Right. No, I agree. That's
why is that okay to them?
I mean,
Kimberly's saying too, what does that do to Carol? Like, are they not even thinking about how it would affect her?
Yes.
I just thought of something.
Those are her children that she never could have with Helen. Right? That's the pain there. I mean, we're not going to have this conversation.
No, we don't get deep.
Yeah, we need
but there are plenty of people who think an egg is not a life, right? And the others, okay, so if the others would eat a chicken egg, I mean, that's not fertilized, that's an unfertilized egg. They're not.
So that's a good comparison. Actually, that's a perfect comparison.
Yeah.
Because
here's the thing: they will do anything to make Carol happy.
Yep.
But they won't stop.
But will they do anything to make Carol happy? Could Carol say, "Please don't use my eggs to make stem cells"? Would they do it, or would they say, "Sorry, that does not compute for us because that does not fall in line with what we want, so never mind, we can't do what you want"?
Yeah.
Could Carol say, "Please destroy the eggs"? Would they have to you know what I mean? Like,
please destroy the eggs. Like, please don't use my eggs. Like, we don't know enough about these people, this species or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, is the biological imperative to convert Carol, like, is that like the prime directive for Star Trek? Yeah.
Prime directive.
Who's talking? Prime directive. Jamie, you know the prime directive, right? From Star Trek?
No.
In Star Trek, they have a prime directive, and it doesn't really matter what it is right now, but the prime directive supersedes every other thing they do, and everything they do is weighed against, you can't violate this prime directive. It's the overriding thing of all of Star Trek. And so when I say, like, it's their prime directive, like, can they give Carol everything she wants up to the point that it threatens the conversion of her?
Yeah. It's like,
right?
Saving the framework. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. But yeah, I would like to see what happens if she does tell them outright, I don't want you to do that. I would think if we said destroy them, they wouldn't be able to do that, which is why I don't know why they're able to use them without asking. I've been wondering the same thing. Do they comply if she asks, or does primary directive supersede? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out if she actually asks. So that would be a good thing.
All right, we got to move it along here.
All right, let's move it. Anyway, this egg conversation, like, turns Carol. Like, she realized, like, Carol's been deluding herself that Zoja, like, she's been also trying to build Zoja in a certain image. Like, she's encouraging Zoja to say I instead of we, and she's trying to mold Zoja a little bit. And this egg thing is just like you just can't, like, right? This is like the deal-breaking moment for Carol, or the eye-opening moment or something.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay, so we have 74 days where we see Minusos again. And also, I realized I hadn't even paid attention until I took the screen capture. He's still writing down everything he's using in this house, right?
No. He's taking notes. He's studying like electricity and.
Okay. From the screen capture, I thought he was saying he owed this much for electricity.
I don't know what electrica. No, he's like those books. He's studying.
I forgot about the books. Yeah, I was just going by
and he's studying frequencies and that kind of thing.
No, you're right. I forgot about that. When I saw the screen capture, I thought maybe he was taking it down, so he made sure he paid for electricity. But that makes more sense. But yeah, he has not given up. He has decided to stay in the house because he's got nowhere to go. And then this is where Carol comes back with her box, and there she's in the helicopter, and we find out that the box is essentially an atom bomb, and she's ready to help him. She's done. She's on his side now, and now we see them get to work, or going to see them get to work, and I think it'll be interesting. Yeah.
Okay, can I ask you guys 2 questions?
Yes.
When you see that coming, the container is coming, before Minusos asks and Carol says atom bomb, did either of you think of what was in that, what that might have been before she said
I didn't, but Artie did immediately.
Yeah, I don't know that I thought about it one way or another.
Artie immediately says that's an atom bomb.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder what's in the box, and Artie goes, "It's a bomb."
It's a bomb. No, it makes total sense. So
numerous people on the internet thought Carol retrieved her eggs, that was Carol's eggs, and yes, eggs
would be a box that big.
That's a big egg.
No, because they would have to be in a freezer.
No, I get where they're going with it.
Right, they'd have to be in some sort of freezer to power it, and some power.
I would think it'd be more in just like a little frozen thing, but you're right, it could be in a bigger.
It would have to be. Yes, that would be in. Like, I don't really know. I've never frozen my eggs. I don't know what
it would need. It would need a refrigerated unit.
You would need a lot of support to keep them frozen all this time, right? In transit. So a lot of people thought that, and then a lot of people thought, and I thought, when she said the atom bomb, I thought maybe Doc made that egg. That's like a Godzilla egg, Doc, right?
Yeah. What's in the
box?
Actually, I actually said that when Artie and I were watching it. I said, "What's in the box?"
I mean, I thought it would be like it could be an atom bomb, or I thought Carol could be speaking. Is metaphorically the right word, that it's not an actual atom bomb, but it's something like that will have a devastating effect on the others, like an atom bomb. Since then, like, right, I thought, which is atom bomb, it could be like not an atom bomb, because I don't really think Carol would detonate an atom bomb and kill, like.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that's going to defeat the purpose of not killing the humans, right?
They did say they'd give her one.
They did.
Well, or she wants to blow up. She knows they're building a giant transmitter, so she could be wanting to blow up that giant transmitter that they're going to send the signal.
Well,
to
the planet. It could also be. I mean, it could be a bomb and be a bluff on Carol's part.
Well, apparently, since the finale aired, Vince Gilligan has in interviews confirmed that it's an actual atom bomb.
Right.
In there. So it is an atom bomb.
Now that especially when the show's going on and there's more seasons, I don't understand this giving answers after the fact. Like, I understand clarifying answers, but sometimes I'm kind of like, I want to figure it out myself. Quit telling me. Do you feel like that sometimes?
No, actually, Vince Gilligan gives very few answers away, and he has talked about how when he started his career in the X-Files, fans constantly were asking him for answers, and then on Breaking Bad, he feels like in the early years of Breaking Bad, he gave away too much, and he now makes an effort to not give away a lot. He said even in the interviews he gave after Pluribus, he has said he wants people to interpret it how they can, and people say things to him sometimes about what they think is happening, and he's like, "Oh, I never thought of that. Good for you."
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I should dig out my pictures of Vince Gilligan when I met him way back when.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Right.
Comment. Can we just hit a couple of the comments real quick?
Yeah, closing thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead. You do it. I'll no touch it because otherwise I knock it on.
We just have a couple here real quick. Doc, Carol's a fantasy romance author. She's good at living in a fantasy. Yeah, that probably helped her with this Doja thing. Next season, we're going to see experimental unjoining. Conscious uncoupling. It's like conscious experimental unjoining. Considering detaching a unit of a hive from a hive in biological organism, it creates its own withdrawal symptoms. Hives create a lot of feel-good hormones.
Yeah, that's what I was getting with the other hive.
This one we already talked about. There's a Doc. We see your message. We'll gonna hold that.
We'll touch that later.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe all we need to. Hang on, let me see if there's anything else we need to pop up here.
You did what I was just going to say don't do, because once you unstar it, it disappears and then you can't find it to turn it off. Oh, you already turned it off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there were things that we talked about that I want to turn off.
No. I meant if you unstar it before you turn the thing off the chat, like it's hard to make it disappear. You have to tap on something else. You turned it off. I didn't realize.
So I did want to talk about this, that, the guac, the GUAC is the sequence that was transmitted. We're calling it a virus. We know it's not a virus. I feel the guac shows up to planets where the dominant species has the capability to destroy the planet. Guac keeps that in check. They also build an antenna to pass the virus along to die. Then the maker collects the one person for their space zoo, since that one person would have the whole knowledge of that dominant species in their one person.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I have considered the possibility that they are, the idea that humans are going to all starve to death. There's not enough food and most of them will die and blah, blah, blah. It's not if they think humans need to go, it's not the most efficient and quickest way to wipe us out, but it's they definitely don't see any value in us, right? They're not trying to save us.
Yeah.
It's almost like a virus, like an HIV, which HIV is so aggressive and untreated, it kills it so very aggressively and needs to be passed on. Like most viruses will kill the host. A lot of diseases will kill, not just HIV, will kill the host and need to be passed on. And that's their whole imperative, is just to be passed on, right? Yeah. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. We'll probably have to wait, 18 months for this show. So,
I think it's supposed to be more than that, isn't it? I forget how many it's supposed to
It's speculation. Nobody knows anything at this point. It's all speculation.
Yeah.
So
although Vince Gilligan, it did get a 2-season order, and Vince Gilligan has said he sees 3 or 4 seasons max.
Yeah, Duffer Brothers said that too.
Vince Gilligan had a very informative experience on the X-Files, where you were trying to create lore and these overarching story, but there was no end in sight, that the X-Files had no end date, and it was just going on and on and on, and it was very difficult to create those stories. And he likes to see a story has a life and then an end, right? And so anyway, all right, so we have, we're doing I assume we're doing Runaway next, but wait, let me get the picture up. But before we do that, hold on, I think I already have it up, don't I? I forget where I put it. Hold on. I got the window here somewhere. I just have the wrong one up. I got it. There we go. Before we get started, now that we have everybody here, we did want to say, because I don't know how many people know this, but it was a co-host on NDB Media, Elizabeth Cooper, but also she was Arc that was in our chat all the time. That's Arc 54 in the chat.
Arc 54, yeah. That she unfortunately passed away on the 2nd. So yeah, we just want to do a shout. We're thinking about her family, and that our prayers are with them, and that she'll be missed. Yeah. So she was always fun in the chat, and we always enjoyed having her here. So
yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah.
We'll miss her. All right. That was an appropriate moment of silence.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Kimberly.
Yeah. A great commenter, a great chatter. We'll miss her in the Silo chat, miss her in the ARC chat.
Yep. All right. So Runaways. What did you guys think? I definitely like this better than Lazarus. Let's just say that right away.
Well, you haven't seen the whole thing yet, so I don't know how you. I don't know.
Well, I'm enjoying it better so far. How's that? I don't feel like the beginning of Lazarus was a little boring, and I really
in
liked
2 episodes, I think I said "what the fuck" about 6 times.
Yeah.
Although I think I have many theories, and the theory I have, a lot of things seem really obvious, which makes me think I'm completely wrong. But
I don't have any theories
I didn't
because
realize-
everybody's a suspect, everybody's guilty, everybody's up to something. So,
well, I'll tell you before we start. I'll tell you my theory, and you can tell me what you think. I think number one that let me get the cast list up first so I don't butcher names here. Because otherwise I'll forget everybody's name in like 2 seconds. I think that Ingrid, number one, is somewhere twisted up in the middle of this. I thought at first that there was a possibility she killed the boyfriend, and that was why she was going to the house. Because my big thing was, and maybe I should have saved this till we got to that point, but the fact that she wanted to go to the house of the person that was murdered, like who does that? Like you're going to leave your prince there and you're going to do something stupid. And it did make sense that maybe she wanted to go there in order to get rid of evidence, to make sure that the person that saw it happen wasn't there. Something, she's in the middle of something. I don't know. Was kind of my point with that, and I think that's why the other drug dealer, whatever you call him, shot her. And my other theory was I kind of wonder if the daughter, I don't know what the name of the daughter that's missing is. I was going to say Anya, but that's the other daughter.
It's Sarah, isn't it? Isn't her name Sarah?
Paige.
No. Paige.
I wonder if Paige, we see her at the beginning seeing someone in a mask, which I'm assuming is the masked guy that we see in the rest of the episode, that we see him, it looks like he's killing somebody or hurting somebody. I think she's watching him hurt somebody else. I think that it's possible she is in league with the 2 killers, and that they're contacting people like she contacted that guy on social media because they're luring them in to kill them because they enjoy killing. And I think she's connected to that. That's my theories. So I don't know. I try to think of crazy things. I think though, because it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, one I'll say this much. One thing with Harlan Coben,
you're never right.
Nothing is ever really what it seems.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'll give
I don't know.
as we go through the episode.
All right. So I felt as I watched these 2 episodes that like I've seen this before, like all these Harlan Coben shows are the same, and I feel like the characters are types. I mean, how many I've seen multiple of them that are like about a parent with a. We just saw one where that guy from Dexter has a missing daughter, right? That's a show, a Harlan Coben show.
Yeah.
That's safe.
And that's a different show from the one that has a different pair, a couple that are killers driving around killing people in the whole episode.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
right.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, those killers definitely reminded me of Ken and Barbie from Stay Close. Yeah.
I mean, I just really felt like we should be able to figure this out pretty quickly because they're all the same. Like, you can predict who's going to die, probably. You can predict who's going to Harlan Coben is really, I think, recycling.
I don't remember a lot of that show, but
well, you know what's messing me up actually in the first episode, because they recycle actors too for a lot of Harlan Coben stuff.
That they do. Yeah, that's for sure.
And the one playing the dad has played a cop like 3 times. Yeah. So the fact that he's not a cop keeps fucking me up. Like I thought he was a cop in the beginning.
I know. I thought he was getting a tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you're right. The story is about their daughter.
And they're always like this. They're always like a pretty upper class family. There's always people that have a lot of money, right? They're like these characters are a type, and anyway, I was a little bored because I just felt like, can you do something new? Anyway,
I don't know. It's kind of like it is a type of show, but I mean it's type of show. I don't know. It doesn't bother me, but I get what you're saying.
I kind of like the Harlan Coben shows because it's fun to play along and try and figure it out.
Yeah.
Which a lot of times you really got to think outside the box because some crazy shit. I mean, the best, the one that I figured out, I don't remember which one it was, but the missing guy but they were going through this whole thing. All this other stuff was happening, everything, and they could never figure out where the hell this, what happened to this guy. They didn't know if he was dead, if he ran away, like he was accused of stuff. Like they couldn't figure it out. And all of a sudden, it dawned on me. I realized during one of the flashbacks as they're wrapping up, I was like, oh my God, he's in the trunk of that car that they pushed into the river to hide.
The car for the whole
I was like, he's in the trunk of the car. And Alyssa was like, how? And she had already seen it before I did. And she goes, how the fuck did you figure that out? She goes, why do you even watch? She goes, why do you even watch them? She's like, you always figure everything out.
Yeah, you do. So, all right, let's recap it pretty quickly if we can.
Yeah.
So hold on a second. Okay. So yeah, their daughter is missing and, she ran away. I mean, we know kind of what's going on, but he gets a message that they know where somebody knows where she's at,
His
and
neighbor.
he finds her busking at I think it's at a university. I don't know. But he goes to get her, and she runs away. Acts like she's scared of him, scared of something. She's been beat up, it looks like, and this guy, who we find out is her boyfriend, the father starts beating him up. Partially because he got in the way and wouldn't let him at his daughter, because he's like, don't go, she's running away. He tries to stop her, etc., etc. But they are also taking drugs, and he thinks that the boyfriend is keeping her against her will for part of this, and he blames him as well. So he probably wanted to beat him up for that reason too. I don't know that was a great explanation of that part, but there we go. So he ends up being arrested because he does beat this guy in front of everybody who has cell phones and starts recording it. And he's telling them, it's my daughter. And nobody is listening.
You know what the great thing about it though is it goes to show how you can never take anything at face value, because the way the video was uploaded, it's taken out of context and you don't even see the whole video. And it's like the caption reads, "Rich guy beats up homeless man."
And yeah, he wasn't homeless, right?
Well, yeah, and it was all out of context. It blows up. It goes totally viral. His other kids are humiliated. It's a problem at the school. They have to go to back to school night, right? That's probably the next shot you got there.
No, actually, I have one of the
lawyer.
Oh, I like the lawyer.
She was in Torchwood, wasn't she? She's the one that was turned into a Cyberman. Pretty sure. But anyway. I like her though. She's funny. Smart ass in this. But yeah, they're trying to pass that off and get past the memes and the internet and everything else that's blowing up with this, because it's got like millions of views. Meanwhile, we find this woman who, this thing to me at the beginning was like so confusing. I'm like, who is she and why is she acting so weird? Because she seems really, really conspicuous to begin with. She steals this woman and her daughter. She steals their dog out of the park and then calls them and says she found the dog, just so she can get their address, which doesn't work out because the woman gives her the address of where she works. I thought at first maybe she just was trying to get a reward. She was like, gets free meals out of it. I thought maybe she was hoping they'd give her money. I wasn't sure what the hell was going on. You find out subsequently that she's a private detective. Yeah, I don't know. She was very conspicuous though. Like, she was weird. She acted weird. And I don't know if that was part of her shtick or I don't know. It was bizarre. What did you guys think?
I too was confused by her at first, and I found out she's a PI and everything. We still don't know why she's following this family, like why she's looking into it. The only thing I could think of is she's been hired by the ex-husband.
Right.
Like they're on the family, like the mother and daughter are like on the run or something. I mean, the woman makes it sound like the guy took off, but I'm wondering if there's more to it. But somehow, some way, it's going to tie into everything, because something that seems completely separate story with Harlan Coben always comes back around. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I was very suspicious of her to begin with too.
Yeah.
All right. So we also have all the social media stuff. We also go to where he works. I don't actually know where he works at some office. I don't know what it was.
They're like financial people. What's important is that he works with his wife's sister. He and his
Yes.
sister-in-law are partners.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, who's Osgood from Doctor Who. But anyway, that was what I took out of that. I'm like, oh, it's Ingrid Oliver, cool.
Yes.
So yeah, he works with his wife's sister. We don't know that yet for a while, but we do find that out. And then the other storyline we have subsequently going on is with Alfred Enoch there, who is the who's from Harry Potter, who is sorry, that's all I can think of when I'm watching this. Like, I know this person, who is the detective there with, there's this woman too. I don't know.
They're partners.
Yeah, Isaac, I don't even know how the hell to say it. And Ruby Todd.
Ruby Todd.
Yeah, they are investigating a murder, which we find out is the murder of Paige's boyfriend, the one that he was the Simon was beating up. Yeah. And so obviously they're going to go and blame him, and we know he probably didn't do it because they're obviously making it seem like he didn't do it, but who knows? It's Harlan Coben, maybe he did do it. But they're investigating that murder. And of course, they come to talk to them at school and embarrass his daughter, but they come to talk to them at a certain point. We also have the storyline going on with this guy. I don't remember his name. I don't know that it's super important what his name is, but his son, and
Henry. His son is named Henry.
Son is named Henry. Okay. His son is missing, and he has hired the private detective to try to find him. All he knows is that his son sent him a text saying, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. I'm going on vacation. But the last time he disappeared, because he has disappeared before, he never sent a text. So therefore, this is strange. And he thinks something happened to him. And she has tracked the GPS on his phone, tried pinging his phone, and it's gone. It won't, they don't get anything, which makes her think that either he destroyed the phone or somebody else destroyed the phone. So something could have happened. They also find out that somebody, he posted on his social media about leaving, and someone posted something about they'd see him at wherever it was they were going, which we later find out was Paige, supposedly, according to the woman. I don't know who she's supposed to be, but this older woman that works for her. How was that for quick?
That was good, Jamie. Wow.
That was good, yeah. So then we have, obviously, them trying to investigate the case and interrogating Simon and trying to find out what's going on. And I have to say, if Simon was the killer, he did some really stupid things. And yeah, I'm not sure why, other than it's a script. He is why the male detective, I already forgot his name, Isaac, is so why he thinks he's guilty so much, because it seems to me that like he would not have done these things and would not be saying, I want him dead. Although if you're smart, maybe you would, I don't know. But he doesn't seem guilty to me as a character. So
I find Isaac abrasive and obnoxious and kind of, and he's supposed to be, right? Like he's the bad cop in this duo. Ruby's the good cop, but he's very obnoxious and
yes, and he has no sympathy for him when he's like, my daughter's, I'm trying to find my daughter. This is why this happened. I mean, he's trying to explain why he did what he did. But he's not having any of it.
I feel like Isaac has a chip on his shoulder when it comes to rich people.
Yeah. That could be.
No, I think that's the reason. No, as I'm saying, I think that's the reason he is going at this so hard, because I feel like he has a chip on his shoulder with rich people, and I think he thinks, that because he wouldn't be wrong in believing that rich people get away with a lot of shit that they shouldn't. So yes. I think that's kind of his
motivation.
Yeah. So that's also shouldn't be a reason for him to automatically think he did it just because.
I didn't say it was a good reason.
No. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, but he is upset and trying to get them to understand why he went, and the cops aren't really listening to him. Then we have these two, who I don't know what we're going to call them, Bonnie and Clyde. I don't know what the hell their names are. It doesn't really matter. Dee and
Ash.
Yeah.
They are serial killers, or at least the man is a serial killer, and she enjoys watching it. We don't actually see her kill anybody, but he seems to be going around killing people, and she's like telling him, you have to do it a different way so we don't get caught. They steal people's cars in order to be their getaway car, and then they burn it. And they kill a few people throughout the season, or throughout the 2 episodes, not the season. I've only seen 2 episodes. They kill a few people.
I thought they were hired.
This later in the next episode.
I thought they were hired killers, maybe not serial
I
killers.
think they are too.
That's a good point. But I don't know. She seems to enjoy it so much, though. That's why I kind of was like, I don't know.
Well, Barbie and Ken were hired killers, and they were insane.
Yeah.
Both of them.
True.
Yeah. Oh, and I would just like to point out that story that she tells about Lucky Lorky is true.
Oh, yeah?
That is a true story.
Interesting. Yeah, she's talking about fate. This is the guy that they kill. You know, all I kept thinking when he's saying, send a message to your wife, you're sorry now, or I'm going to kill your family. All I kept thinking is, he's going to kill you. Like, I would text guy with a gun, run. That would be my text. Like, he's going to kill you anyway. But he does kill him. And after
they're setting it up to look like a suicide.
Right. Sorry.
Yes.
And then there's some discussion with them. They got to do something about their daughter. They got to try to find her because her boyfriend was killed. How do we know somebody isn't going after our daughter and going to kill her next? And so we got to go find her. It's basically what that conversation is. And they decide that they're going to be really, really stupid and go to the scene of the crime. And that's where I was like, okay, one of two things. Either A, she's guilty of something, or B, she's really stupid, or C, it's bad writing. But usually his stories aren't that bad of writing, which makes me think she's up to something. But if she is up to something, it was really, really, really obvious that she was up to something.
You're like,
no one goes back to the scene of a murder crime. Come on.
I mean, okay, people on TV break into crime scenes all the time, right?
Yes,
but
not necessarily when you're being accused of the murder.
Yes, not when you're, yes. And I felt their reasoning wasn't very good. They're like, we have to find our daughter. Where's the last place she was? At the crime scene. Well, let's start there. Maybe we'll find a clue.
It was a really bad idea.
Well, especially like the daughter is known to be missing. She's been missing for 6 months. It's been reported to the police. Like, you could say to the police, hey, did you find anything about where Sarah would be? I mean, the police are obviously going to look for Sarah because she's a suspect.
Boyfriend. I don't know where you got Sarah, but yeah.
Sarah, Paige. Paige. Like, Paige is a suspect also, right? The boyfriend was butchered in their apartment. Like, the police are looking for Paige. Like, this is one of the dumbest things.
They don't. You know what though? They don't seem like they are looking for her.
I don't think they care, which is kind of their point. Like,
she's a suspect. She should be a suspect also.
She should be one of
doesn't seem like she is though.
But it doesn't seem like she is. They just think she's a druggie and they don't care, basically. And then we have more of her being really, really conspicuous, going back to this restaurant, diner, whatever you want to call it, Ant Cafe. And I don't understand why she's acting so conspicuous if she's supposed to be a private detective. Because if she is and she's not trying to do it, she's a very bad private detective. Just saying.
It's an act. I mean, she's totally acting this thing on purpose.
But it's like, why did she want to get caught, or does she just want them to think she's weird? I don't have the answer to that yet.
There's some reason that she wants to observe this woman, and hanging out in a restaurant is the best way to do it. And
but acting less creepy would be a better way to do it, in my opinion.
I mean, she maybe just seems like a,
it's almost like she's doing it to make the woman nervous, to maybe do something rash.
All right, that's fair.
There's a reason behind it. I don't know what it is yet, but
yeah, it just seems like they're making it like she's not a good private eye. But when she's talking,
she's very different in every scene that we see her. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, she's got a quirk to her, but how she handles herself scene to scene has been very different.
Yeah, I agree. Been different. This is the woman that works with her. That's like her tech person who's looking
her
up
techie.
Her techie. Granny
techie. I like that it's not pretty much on every show. The techie is like a 20-year-old, and I like that they've cast an older person as a skilled tech person.
Yeah,
hacker person, whatever. Yeah.
So this is the two of them going to the scene of the crime, in this really bad neighborhood. Which, again, really bad idea. They get there. I also question. This guy seems like he could be guilty to me.
Cornelius, the neighbor.
Cornelius.
And the only reason I say that is, okay, he does know him though, so it might be because he knows his family. But I kept thinking, like, why does he know where the drug dealer after this is hiding at? Like, I get he knows where he's at now because he's in the other building. But later he's like, he knows where he's hiding. And I'm thinking, why do you know where the drug dealer is unless you're...
Oh, come on.
Because he knows the mother.
People who live in like housing
but
project.
he had vacated the housing. That's my point. The drug dealer had vacated to another spot, and he knew
No,
where
he
he
said
was.
he said that he works out of the basement of the next building over.
No, not here. I'm talking about later when they go and find him. He knew where he was, but we
I
find
mean-
out
Because he knows the mother.
he knows the family. So that could
I
be
think
part of it.
people who live in this kind of environment always know where the drug dealers are working from and where they are.
All right, that's fair. I guess.
mean,
That's
And
fair.
Cornelius has been around a while, and he knows a lot of people.
Yeah, he knows the area. All right. Well, the point is, he knew their daughter. He liked her. He helped her out. Like, he would feed her sometimes, and she'd talk to him. She was always nice to him, and he liked her. He seemed to know that her boyfriend was beating her up as well. He is the.
I think
he
everybody
says
knew that.
Yeah, he says that only 2 people have the key to the apartment, and he's one of them. So, of course he is. So he gives them the keys so they don't have to break in. They come in, and I'm kind of, and you know what this is where I was also thinking, and this is because I watched too many murder movies, but I'm also thinking, if he's the killer, really smart idea to get these people to come in and put their prints everywhere, right? So yeah, they come in, they look around, they don't really find anything.
It's
but
quite
then-
a violent scene though.
It is.
The mattress is soaked with blood, but there's blood up on the wall. Like, it's a pretty violent. Well, when we saw the dead body earlier, like, it was pretty violent.
Not for nothing.
Yeah.
Even without the blood, it's pretty gnarly in there to begin with.
Yeah,
It
is.
But yeah, the victim, they cut 3 of his fingers off. Whoever did it, they do say that. So it seems like maybe he was tortured for information. Could it be he was looking for the girl? I don't know.
Well, which leads you to believe that it could possibly be one of these 2, because they're cutting off his finger, saying, "You going to tell me where she is?" No. All right, let's try 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Not that I think it was either. I mean, I don't know. She's a doctor. She might know the right fingers to cut
That was
off.
exactly what I thought. She's a doctor. She could have done it. I mean, not that necessarily means a doctor can easily do that, but
I know.
more like
I'm just.
somebody else. All right, so they go to see the drug dealer,
Rufus. They go to see Rufus.
and he's not very forthcoming. But the father offers him money, and he seems like he's maybe going to say something to them. And then, right when he does, this other guy, which
Luther
comes out and shoots her. And that was what made me think he shot her because she was somehow involved, or maybe she's.
I don't think he shot her intentionally necessarily. I actually think that he started freaking out because he seemed to recognize the father.
Oh, I thought he recognized her because he said.
And I think the reason he recognized the father from the. I think he recognized the father from the video.
Oh, okay, maybe. I don't know.
And that's why he started freaking out.
Yeah, when he talks to the cop, he said when they ask about why he shot her, he says, "You were with her, you know." That's why I thought that he knew the woman, not the man. But maybe I am wrong. I thought he knew her. But either way, he shoots her, almost kills her. But Cornelia shoots him and in the shoulder, and they take the wife to the hospital. And then the other thing that we have is this is where the private detective finds out that it was Paige that posted on Henry's profile. And because she had it hidden, or because it was a private account or whatever, and they had to hack it. And we also see that the brother has her guitar. And I guess you're supposed to think that's where his wife was shot. I guess you're supposed to think he's guilty. I tend to think his sister wanted drug money, so she, gave it to him to sell or something. I think it's something like that.
Here's my question. He's at university. How close is he, considering she was just playing her guitar 2 days ago?
Yeah, he's supposed to be pretty far away. That's a good point. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How long did it take him to get to the hospital? Was that a day? Hours?
Right? They couldn't get a hold of him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but once they did get a hold of him and he came to the hospital, how much time was that? That's what I'm not sure about.
I don't know.
Like I said, longer than it took him to get the guitar. So I don't know. All right. Let's move on to the second episode. Yeah. All right, here we go. Hold on, I gotta switch the. All right. Okay, so they are taking Ingrid to the hospital. She's been shot really badly. He's upset for good reason. They're still investigating the case. I'm trying to see and click what's important. They're still on a killing spree potentially, or killing more people they've been hired to, whichever, but they're killing more people. This actually, the fact that they have a photo ahead of time makes me think that they could be hired killers. I thought when they were looking at the photos, it was more like a, what do you call it? Like when they keep something from them, a keepsake that they had the photos. The way she was looking through them, like she got joy out of looking through their murder victim photos. But the fact they had a photo ahead of time does make me think they might have been hired. So yeah. But either way, they kill this guy. And unfortunately, this young kid is standing there when he does it and sees her face because she gets out of the car. So
she's not a good accomplice. Like, this is the second time that, like, they had an argument about how to kill a person. And he's like, we have to, like, be methodical, like, get back in the car.
Yeah, and she's like, you have to do something different. But either way, he sees the woman. There he is in the background. So he knows that he has to shoot him as well. He goes after the poor kid and catches him in the tattoo parlor or whatever, and kills him. Shoots him in the back of the head. Whoops. Yeah. Whereas the other guy, he shot like twice in chest or whatever. And she's like, no, that's the same as you did the other guy. So, yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about? It's completely different. She's like, no, it's 2 shots. She's like, they'll connect. Like, she's very, like, it was different, but not different enough for her.
Yes, fair enough. All right. So this is where her sister has found out about her being in the hospital, and she is on breathing tubes. She almost dies. They take her into surgery. They put her in a coma in order to keep her alive for the time being. Is
anyone else irritated that the biggest star of the show was placed in a coma in episode 2?
Yeah, but who knows? She might be back.
Episode 3.
Yeah. But her there's also, I don't have a picture of him until later on in the episode, but the doctor that she works with is kind of hovering and all upset, maybe a little more upset than he should be, that his coworker has been shot. Look, I don't know. I mean, they could be good friends. He knows their daughter. It could just be he's a family friend, because I thought about the fact that, yeah, he's hovering around her, but the husband's there too. So I'm not sure that necessarily automatically.
Well, I mean, the show, they're implying that they're having an affair. I don't think they're having an affair.
I don't either.
I think he's worried. There's something else going on with those two that's not an affair, and he's worried about her waking up and saying the wrong thing or whatever. There's definitely some secret that he's worried about.
I also think there's a possibility that he lied for her alibi, and that's a part of it.
Well, yeah, I think that's pretty obvious considering they have video of her leaving the hospital.
Yeah. But
I felt like he was a little. I felt like he was a little stalkerish, and like maybe he's in love with her. But wait, let me finish. Maybe he's in love with her, but it's unrequited. Like, not they're having an affair, but he's like a bit of a wants there to be an affair.
Fair enough. We have more about Henry. Some of this we kind of talked out of order about.
Yeah.
He's telling him about, and he does say that he remembered her talk, or he remembers his new wife making a comment about Henry talking on the phone to a page. So he did know Paige. Hey, no, I know. Sorry, Fletcher. But yeah, so we already talked about that. So Simon has a flashback of when he met Ingrid.
Yeah. This was unnecessary. This was an unnecessary waste.
No, I liked it. I thought it was a really funny scene.
I mean, it was fine, but as far as I can tell, unless we're going to learn more from flashbacks, I was like, I buy them as a couple. I didn't need to see their meet cute to.
No, but it was a cute couple.
It was a funny scene, though.
Yeah.
Okay, can anybody answer me about the daughter? Why is she sometimes in a wheelchair and sometimes not?
I wondered if you were going to say that. It could just be she's she's disabled, but not so much she can't stand at all, would be my answer, because she definitely is in and out of the chair.
Yeah, I feel like I've missed something.
I don't know.
I think it's just kind of like Ruth or is her name Ruth on Doctor Who? I think she can walk some maybe, but maybe not real far.
It could just be like, there's a guy that goes to my bar that uses a wheelchair, but when he comes in the bar, he he can't walk, but he gets himself up onto a bar stool and sits at the bar and while he's in there.
And it could also even be that she has something else, like maybe she has seizures or something and she can't balance. You know, it could be a lot of things, really.
Well, I just wondering, like at the school, she's in the wheelchair. At the hospital, she's in the wheelchair, but she's walking around the house.
Yes, I know. I wondered. I was like, wait, is that the same daughter? No, yeah, she's walking around the house.
She's walking around the house. I never saw her walk around the house.
When they came in the house,
walking.
I think after the school thing, she was walking.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure walking far. She walked like a few feet. But yes, it's
still
a
walked.
little confusing. It was still walking, but I just assume that she's whatever it is, she's not completely immobile. But yeah.
What's
I don't
her name,
think it's
Anya?
part of the story. I mean, I guess it could be, but I don't think it's
her name is Sister. We don't need to know her name. Her name is Sister.
Yeah. All right. So then Ruby here is being the good cop and talking to the sister, trying to kind of find out things. And she's like, "Oh, you work with your sister's husband. That must be weird," is basically what she says. And she sort of looks at her like, like, this is rude. And she does get upset that they're asking questions in her sister's hospital room, or not asking questions in the room, but trying to take them out to ask questions, which, was not very nice. And I get she's upset. But she's playing good cop and he's playing bad cop. This is where he asks, I think he asks he might have asked about the doctor here. I can't remember. But he also is questioning about, why did they go to the drug den and all that. And of course he's defending himself and he's like, because I'm trying to find my daughter. And the cop says that he's going to have Simon ID the shooter when they go back to the station because he's in the hospital right now. And he's like, "No, let's go now." And I'm thinking, okay, let's go ID somebody and let them know you ID them so they can come after you. Smart.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he's going to know because he knows Simon saw him. It's not a surprise. It's not like it was Cornelius. I mean, he was going to shoot. He knows Simon was there. He was going to shoot him.
Yeah, I guess he knows he saw his face, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, he
real
goes
quick.
Yeah.
I needed more information. The actress that plays Anya has EDS.
What?
I'm not
the
sure
actress that plays Anya has EDS. It is not a plot point.
Okay.
The actress has EDS, so she needs a wheelchair to get around, but when she's able, she can walk.
Oh, that's kind of what I was figuring. All right. So this guy, I forget what you said his name was, Luther. This is where he flips out whenever Simon comes in the room. The cop thinks that he's scared of Simon. When Simon said like about him shooting him and he said something like, "Well, you were with her." That's why I really thought that he knew his wife, not that he knew him. But at any rate, he basically admits he shot her. So not a big long discussion there. But we have more with these guys. They're getting another car in order to go.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah, so far I don't see the point of them, but I'm sure they'll come into play later.
Well, I mean, by the end of the episode, they have a point.
Well, yes, they do. That's true. All right, so they're talking and discussing the case, and she doesn't necessarily think Simon's guilty. He definitely does. It makes a little bit more sense now, I guess, the way they're acting. I definitely didn't pick up on the fact they were dating or sleeping together or whatever until later. But yeah, they're discussing the case. I don't think, if I missed something important, tell me, but I'm just trying to go through it quick, like we said.
Yeah, I think we
Cornelius there is watching them and seeming, is there, is he bad? Is he, we don't know why he's watching. His sister-in-law tells him to call his kids because she finds out he has not told his kids about. Okay, this is a different scene because obviously his daughter knows now, but he hadn't told his kids. But right now his son is still at college, and she's like, "You need to get him here." Basically saying, "You don't know what's going to happen to her. You need to get him here." Is essentially this conversation. So they're trying to get a hold of the son, and he's not answering the phone because he's studying, which he isn't, but they think he is. He's actually doing other stuff. But there's more with the woman.
By the way, speaking of the sister, I feel like there's another weird situation when she was talking to the cop, and she's like, "That's kind of unusual. You're working with your brother-in-law." She's like, "Well, I've actually known Simon longer. I introduced them."
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And it almost seemed like they I don't know,
Like,
something seemed
maybe.
weird. Like maybe they had a relationship before she introduced the sister.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wondered. But for all we know, she could be a lesbian. I mean, we really don't know. So that's kind of an assumption. But yes, I kind of assumed that too. That
my point is though, the conversation was weird.
Yeah, I agree. It was weird. But we also know she may or may not. Well, not know. We know she may be up to something. I think it's something more innocent, but
She's definitely up to something. We just don't know what it is.
Yeah. We have more with the private eye and the woman that owns the diner. More creepiness. Her trying to find out more about her. She's kind of like asking her questions in a leading way, so she finds out that she's single. The husband / boyfriend / whatever, the father, is not around. That she doesn't have somebody to watch the girl, it sounds like, is what she's sort of asking. But we're not sure what parts of that are important yet. And then this is where the brother,
hold on, when she's on the phone with her techie, the techie doesn't know about this case, and she's like, I'm working this one on my own, you don't need to know.
Yes, that
makes it even more ominous what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I was starting to think that this is not a case, that it's a personal investigation.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. But
I was questioning though whether, to me, it wasn't super clear that this case is the one she isn't telling her about. She just
it absolutely
something. But I was
it absolutely is, because she's like, she doesn't want to talk to her while she's there, and she's like, what are you doing? And, yeah.
No, you're right. Okay, sure. All right, so the brother sells the guitar to this guy. Again, I think maybe he's just getting money for his sister, is what I thought at this point anyway, that he was helping his sister out because she needed drug money. But he is a little reluctant to sell it to him. He says that he's glad this guy likes music because he says all kinds of things about different songs he can play. He seems to like music. But then we find out a second later that he is only doing it for like a TikTok video or something, and he smashes the guitar, and the brother is heartbroken, which I guess you're supposed to think, does this mean he's guilty? Is his sister dead or something, because he's so upset he does this? But I think this could mean a lot of things. He loves his sister, and maybe he didn't really want to sell it, but he knew he needed the money, or she needed the money or something, and it hurt him. But he does pick up the guitar pieces, and he's kind of like, tearful that happened. And then he's on the phone with his father, and he's pissed at his father because he's like, you took her into a drug den, is basically what he says, which he's not wrong. Like, why would you do that?
Where I would have yelled, it was your mother's idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Blame her. And then there's more with the two. I don't know who he's arguing with. I think here is when he's talking to Cornelius, maybe.
I don't know. That's what his face looks like for like the entire show. Like, he's always like, where's my daughter?
Yeah,
well, Cornelius tells him he knows where the
baby.
My baby. Where's my baby?
Yeah, he's going to take him to him.
Baby.
And he does say that he left him out. He did tell the police that he didn't know who shot Luther, even though he did. Then this is where the cop is talking to the other doctor, who seems like he may or may not be guilty. He's kind of,
mixed.
Yeah, he's stalky-ish. McStalky. He did lie about her alibi, we find out, because he questions him about her alibi, and he's like, yeah, she was at the hospital, blah, 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 which we find out later she wasn't. So he did lie for her at any rate. Why? We don't know. Or did he just, it's also possible she said, tell them I was here, and he said, okay, because he's in love with her, and he may not know where she was. That's also a possibility. But yeah, he lied. And then we have the drug dealer again, which I'm Rufus. And he doesn't really want to help, but he eventually kind of says he doesn't know anything about where his daughter is, other than she wanted drugs, didn't have the money, so he sent her away, basically, was the whole conversation. And then he tells him, I'll give you 50,000 pounds if you find my daughter, which I think was kind of a smart move, to be honest, because, he has the means of finding her. So, although he also has the means of lying to him to get the 50 grand, but you know.
Sure.
I mean, so Simon also in the very beginning of the previous episode, the neighbor who knew where Sarah was like, transfer the money to my account. Like,
Paige.
Yeah, he's paying.
Why do you want to call her Sarah?
Sarah, Paige.
And his name isn't Rufus, it's Rocco.
Okay. I'm only saying Rufus because Karen said Rufus.
At least it starts with an R. This is how much I pay attention to this show.
Yeah, the one thing though that did confuse me, I took a note of and I wanted to mention because I don't know if it was just I didn't understand it, it was a mistake, or it means absolutely nothing. But the guy, he said his neighbor knew where his daughter was at, which made sense.
Yes.
But the guy that sent him the text message was the guy that he said set up the schedules for the busking, because they had the name on the text and it matched. I recognized the name. And then when they're saying what the name is with the cops, I'm pretty sure that was the name that was on the text. So,
okay, so his neighbor's the guy that set up the bus schedule.
Busking. I don't think that was his neighbor. I mean, I guess it's possible it was, but I think they had both their names and they were different. So I don't know. Is it a clue? Is it a mistake? Is it me being stupid? It could be any of those three things. I'm just bringing it up in case I'm right. And I mean, not in case I'm right, in case it's important later. She thanks this guy for killing the kid for her and wants to know if he's okay. He says he's fine. That's pretty much that scene. We find out the cops are sleeping together. And
now, before his partner came out, did you guys have?
Oh, I totally thought it was the lawyer.
So did I.
I think they wanted you to think it was the lawyer because I thought he was taking her phone. And I'm like thinking, you can't do that.
I thought the same thing.
They wanted you to, clearly. But no, he gets a video on his phone about the surveillance of the hospital and has found out that Ingrid left the hospital the night of the daughter's boyfriend's murder. And that's when he's like telling her, and I'm like, well, he wouldn't tell her if it's the lawyer. And then this is the scene to me that I was like, what the fuck? Totally confused. He sends 8,000 pounds to somebody. And she says to her that it's done. And she's like, it's over or whatever. So something weird is going on. Is it a blackmail? Did it have to do with, I don't know what it had to do with. Maybe it had something to do with the daughter that's missing, but I don't know.
I think they're trying to make us think that they hired the killers.
Yeah,
because
but I don't think that's it. And also, what killer?
It probably isn't. But the next scene is is Dee Dee going through the photos, and that's when we find out that they killed.
But I have to question: isn't $8,000 really cheap to kill somebody? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but that seems like really.
It was
cheap.
8,000. Okay, it was 8,000.
Sorry, 8,000 pounds.
8,000 pounds.
But that's still, I mean, I don't know. I assume that it costs a lot of money to kill somebody.
I'm sorry. I watch these true crime shows, and you wouldn't believe how little money these doofuses will accept to kill people. $5,000.
Like if they're hired killers and not just like somebody who's an idiot that accepts it.
$5,000 is a common amount for people that are caught on television. But
no, but I would just think if you're like hired killers would, as opposed to like just some random people that somebody.
Well, they're being hired. They're being hired.
No, but I mean like a random person that you hire compared to like hired killers that do it for a living.
These two aren't exactly like Day of the Jackal, right? They're just like
I don't know why I didn't take a picture of the end, sorry. But
Dee Dee's a clear nut job. Also, it could be they could have paid like 8,000 up front and 8,000 after the job is done. Right?
Yeah. Or it could be a blackmail, or it could be maybe she's kidnapped and they're like, we know where she is.
It's probably not what it's probably not what we think.
It's not what we think. I know. I agree. I think that they were helping. I think that maybe they were helping the girl. Like maybe she's not missing and they're like helping her disappear or something like that.
But there's also actually another connection. The tattoo parlor where they killed the guy is where he's supposed to, where he met Paige or supposed to meet Paige or something.
Yeah. My question is though, was that guy they killed at the tattoo parlor? Was that might be Henry? We don't know.
No, that's not Henry. That guy was too old to be Henry.
By the age, I don't think it is. But
no, that was definitely not Henry.
Okay.
And didn't we see a picture of Henry?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe we did. I can't remember.
Yeah, Henry was definitely different looking.
But anyway, I didn't get a picture for some reason of the killers at the end. I don't know why I skipped the picture, but the last scene is them looking creepily, or her looking creepily, through their murder victim photos, and in the end, we see the girl, the daughter and her boyfriend. Now, that's clearly implying that they killed her boy. I can never remember his name. Ralph. I don't know. Her boyfriend.
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't know his name either.
Colin, right? Colin?
I don't remember.
I'm not trusting with names.
Colin? All right, whatever.
But here's the thing. We don't know that Aaron, his name's Aaron Corbel.
All right.
But we don't really know that that's the case. That could be their next intended target, and they could be targeting his daughter. It could not be that they
Fair enough.
Her boyfriend. But
Good
we're
luck finding her. Nobody else can.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Nobody else can.
Which is why I'm saying maybe her aunt is helping her disappear. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. But I like it. I mean, look, I'm not saying Harlan Coben stories are like the most perfect mysteries that always make sense, and that I like a lot twisted murder mysteries. I enjoy them. And
usually with a Harlan Coben story, I can't really make an opinion until I've seen the whole thing.
That's fair. Sometimes they're not.
I mean, Lazarus was
awesome. Lazarus was not so great.
Lazarus was bad. The one with the helicopter wife started out, I thought, pretty good. It was kind of eh. Yeah, Shelter was great. Safe was good. A lot of his earlier stuff is really good. It's been the past couple of years that it's been. Stranger was really good.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but overall, I tend to enjoy these type of movies. I think more than you guys do. Just like how I like the Agatha Christie things and that kind of stuff. I like that.
There's a new Agatha Christie thing on Netflix.
Yes, I think Scarlett and I, we were talking about maybe covering it, depending how many we're going to do. I don't know. We'll see. I assumed you guys didn't want to, but of course you're welcome to if you want to. Yeah. So that is the end of the 2 episodes. We will do the next 2 next week.
Right.
Yeah, I guess we'll wait and see how it goes. But they're all available on Netflix, so you can obviously finish them if you want to. Yeah. And like you said, there is another Harlan Coben one coming out on some network that I don't know what network it is, but it's a true crime, so I'm not going to watch it. All right. What else do we got? We got Stranger Things, and you guys got Percy Jackson. Do you want to do Percy Jackson next?
Yes.
No. Okay. Really?
No.
People have been waiting for Stranger Things for a long time.
I kind of agree, but I didn't want to make you guys do that. If you're cool with that.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't care how we do it. But I thought we were kind of basing this on time, and it's already midnight.
So I was saying that we should do it around midnight, because that way the people that are waiting to find out what happens at midnight for Stranger Things will know if something.
It's behind the scenes. That's what happens. It's on Netflix thing.
It comes out the 12th, and I know that. And I mentioned that there was a press release for that when we were here the other day. But yeah, people do not listen. People think there is a special episode coming. And we won't know 100% for sure until whatever it is released at midnight. I tend to think it's a trailer behind the scenes. I think that's all it is.
I'm not aware that anything is being released at midnight.
No, yeah. There's a countdown, but as I had said and wondered, I kind of wondered if the countdown was official or if the countdown was more people thought something was coming, so somebody made a countdown. So it's not 100%, but basically a lot of the fandom, a big portion of the fandom, thinks something is coming at midnight. I don't know if Netflix maybe said there was an announcement or there was something at midnight, but if there is, which there might be, I think it's just a trailer for the behind the scenes special. I really do. I don't think it's anything other than that, but we'll find out. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. It's up to you. If you guys want to do Stranger Things.
All right, let's just do Stranger Things.
Okay,
go ahead.
I'll get a couple pictures out. I know we're not going to go through all the pictures, but at least not keep up Runaway while we're talking about it, because that's just weird. So let me pull it up here. I mean, obviously, we talked about this very much at length the other night. So people who want to see our full breakdown / review of Stranger Things, you can do so on our live streams on YouTube if you want to see that. Let me do that. Let me get a good picture here. Like I said, we don't need to keep changing them. I just don't want to leave up that. Yeah. So this will be more of a review and not a breakdown. So we'll just go quick to, I guess, recap what we thought, maybe. Yeah. You guys want to go? Why don't you go first? I'm going to take a drink.
AJ, you go first. He's speechless.
I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
I mean, I you know, what are we what are we giving here? Because we went really deep the other night and about how much I disliked the whole season.
No, we'll just kind of recap what we thought on it. I think, and I mean, we don't have to go. We can go kind of a little bit more without going.
Start, AJ, and then you can.
My whole thing was Karen and I didn't hear each other. That was
yes.
Okay.
I mostly feel kind of glad it's over. I feel kind of exhausted. I felt like it took a lot out of me to have to watch so much in such a short time, which is crazy because I'll spend a weekend binging a show that I love, but the pressure of like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's at a time of year when I had like a lot to do for each of those holidays, like didn't work that great for me. And I mostly felt like this season was too overstuffed and they could have cut it in half and had a tighter show that might have worked better for me. And I mean, we have all three of us complained, and the entire fandom, I think, has complained about like everybody stopping for a monologue at the end of the world every 5 minutes. But to be fair, they've been doing that for a long time, not just this season. There were parts that I really liked. I mean, I as much as I have sometimes complained about Holly, I do like the. I should look up the name of the young woman who plays her. And I kind of liked how that ended. I didn't, and I think AJ heard me say this. I really don't like the coda. I know Jamie hates the coda.
Well, I don't mind. Like I said, I think I was more annoyed by how long it took to get there through all the other stuff than the actual ending. Like the last part was okay of the D&D, them passing on the torch, that him saying maybe 11's alive. I didn't mind that part. I just thought, like I said, and I keep saying, there was 40 minutes of stuff before that I didn't need. I didn't need to see everybody's happy ending. I'm happy that I saw Joyce and Hopper get together, they're going to get married. I thought that was cute. But like all the stuff with the kids and seeing a whole graduation and seeing, their game and that was unnecessary.
The Hollywood Reporter did I wouldn't call it a roundtable, it's only two people, but they published like a conversation between their two reviewers talking about this episode. And one of them said, this will replace Lord of the Rings as the worst coda ever. A lot of people don't like the Lord of the Rings, at the whole ending there in the third movie. I really didn't like the part where like Elle makes this choice to go, and then like Mike kind of rewrites her story at the end. I get that it's not definite, that it's speculation, but I feel like, if she made this choice to sacrifice herself, and then in the end she didn't really sacrifice herself. I mean, I guess she sacrificed being with the people she loves, but I didn't love that.
Does it cheapen it if she didn't sacrifice?
I did love the ending with putting the books on. Everybody puts their D&D manual on the shelf, and then they walk up the stairs, and the little kids come down and shut the door.
I like that part. And
AJ hated the whole season, huh?
I just, I had a lot of problems with it. I didn't hate it, but I had a lot of problems with it. I felt the entire season felt too polished. It felt more 2025 than 1980 anything. Like the early, if you put season 1 next to season 5, you can see the difference in the stylization and everything. I really feel like this was another case of some, storytellers telling a story and the network saying we want more because it's making us a lot of money. So I feel like the Duffer Brothers might have had an ending with season 4. Netflix said, "Oh no, you're giving us 5 seasons," because I felt like they were phoning it in a lot of it this last season.
That is correct. I read that. What they pitched as season 4 became 4 and 5.
I feel like a lot of these monologues were because they didn't know what else to do. When you have let's just talk about just the finale, 2 hours and 8 minutes, and an hour and a half of it is fucking monologues. The fight scene was too short.
Things were
things were not well explained. They gave us supposedly the important parts of the play into the show to understand things, but after hearing a lot of stuff, these guys talk about stuff Sunday night about the play, there's actually a lot left out that does make some things make more sense. I would have been perfectly fine. The way season 4 ended, you do your wrap up at the end of season 4. You do your quick wrap up. You don't need to go as crazy as they did. The only good thing about the wrap up in season 5 was we got to hear Rockin' Robin one more time. It all felt, Mike's fantasy about Elle was okay. I was all right. I had problems with that too. This whole thing, Mike's fantasy has a lot of holes in it. If it helps him, fine. But there's a lot of holes in it. Like Callie, for example, she was fucking dead. She didn't crawl across the room to lean against the wall while she's bleeding out. She was dead. Even if she did, and even if that's even possible, she's too far away to create that kind of illusion. Because if she's far enough away not to be affected by the speakers, then she's too far away to create that illusion.
I agree. I mean, look, I think it's possible, or they could have, I guess I could say it could have happened. It doesn't make sense because it doesn't fit with it. But like they could have had her, somehow be hidden in that she actually came in and snuck in. But if they watched her there, I guess the idea is she really couldn't have disappeared and snuck away or whatever. But it doesn't make tons of sense. And it confuses me even more that the Duffer Brothers say, yeah, all that stuff with Mike, his last conversation was all in his head and didn't happen, which makes sense because the blockers or whatever were up. So I understand she couldn't use her powers, but I would have been better off thinking she couldn't have used her powers. How did she talk to Mike? Oh, that's sloppy writing. Than them telling me it wasn't real, because now I'm like, well, then why put it in? It makes absolutely no sense to me. And that to me was worse. But that being said, yeah, I don't love the ending. I like I said, I more don't love the other stuff, but I still don't love the ending. I don't care whether they killed her or didn't kill her, or it was she might have lived. I mean, I don't mind them leaving it up to the audience. I think that that's fine, and that is an 80s thing, and I didn't not like that idea, but it just wasn't executed well. And that finale was so long when not that much happened, and they could have done it in 40 minutes and been done. So that was my main gripes. Do I want more? I think that I had enough, and I don't feel like I need more Stranger Things. However, that being said, if there's a spinoff, I will still watch it. Like I said the other night, I do enjoy the idea of kind of the upside down. I wish there had been like that. I could see something on, but at the same time, I feel like they ruined that now that we know the upside down isn't the upside down. It's just a bridge. It kind of made it to have less of an impact because
I really loved the Upside Down. I thought the Upside Down was such a great, in season 1, it was such a great idea, and it was well executed. It looked good, and I didn't love it actually being a wormhole, and I don't understand why the inside of the wormhole. Why isn't the abyss the mirror image?
World, yeah.
Why is the wormhole the mirror image of Hawkins? Like, I'm not in love with that as like the answer, but maybe other people are, right? I know that there are people in this chat who have developed some theories around that. And look,
wait, I accidentally sorry, keep talking. I accidentally bumped open my Photoshop, and it's gonna like slow down my thing. Do not do that. I bumped it open.
Right. Sorry. That didn't really work for me. But there are people who probably like that. The Upside Down, like, I don't know. I guess I just don't love the idea of having another level of bad above, like, beyond the Upside Down. I don't know. But look, I give them credit. Like, just because I didn't love it doesn't mean I come up with something better. I don't know.
I guess my thing is I liked, and I know Scarlett, I got it. I'm going to put it up in a second. The thing that I guess my point is that I really liked the Upside Down. I thought it was a cool concept, and like it was important. It was a huge part of the show. And to me, it really lessens it to say, oh, it was just a bridge. And I agree with you. If they were going to have like a mirrored upside down world, why wasn't it the planet rather than the bridge? And I've said before, I think the story of it being the portal, whatever you want to call it, I do not think that was what they originally planned. I think that was the part that was tacked on because they needed more season.
See, I absolutely think it was original because in season
Stage play.
in season whatever we see L blast Henry through the window and you see him go into the other world, he's in the abyss.
You mean
That
when
is
the rainbow room in Hawkins' lab and she blasts him through the lab?
Yeah. He doesn't go to the upside down. He goes to the abyss. He's on the desert planet.
See, I don't remember it being a desert thing. Maybe that's why, because I'm not remembering it.
He was absolutely on the desert planet.
All right, fair enough. I don't like the idea of it though, regardless, but you could be right.
We have a few comments here. Justin had comments. Justin says, I don't like that 11 sacrificed herself on Stranger Things. I don't think she and Mike should have ended up a couple, but the sacrifice should have been Murray. Hopper lost another daughter too easily.
Yeah, but Murray is the one that they needed the blood from.
Murray is the one they needed the blood from.
No, Murray wasn't. Elle sacrificed herself to stop the cycle.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, I think Justin means if the Duffers were going to sacrifice a character, like, could it have been Murray?
But it wasn't a sacrifice in that way.
It wasn't.
Like, there's a reason for Elle killing himself.
Yeah, I get that. But I also get what he's saying. He's just saying if they were going to make a character make a sacrifice, why not do one that didn't matter as much? I guess.
Murray gives his life to save everyone. And then,
I honestly thought it was going to be Hopper. I thought that it made sense for it to be Hopper, for him to sacrifice himself for the daughter that he has now.
Honestly, I thought a lot of people were going to die and nobody did.
Yeah, I do think it was. Look, people were saying it's safe. Other people were getting mad and saying that, they don't have to kill people. That doesn't mean it's safe. I'm kind of neither here nor there. I mean, I don't necessarily like characters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine that everybody survived.
Great. If it doesn't serve the story, don't do it.
Almost nobody has died in the whole show, and the Duffers are on record now with recent interviews saying yeah, we don't like to kill our characters. We love our characters, and we don't like to kill them. Right? I mean, I'm paraphrasing that. That might not be exactly what they say, but they have said, yeah, we don't.
Yeah, which is fine.
Us not killing characters.
I'm going to bring up. Charlotte had wanted me to show this map the other day, and we didn't get to show it because I didn't realize it, and she was disconnecting, I think, at the time or something. I can't remember, but anyway, I never showed it. It's supposed to explain the different universes. The only issue I have with it, and this is what I told her, I just wanted her to understand, this is AI. I mean, it's clearly AI. Whether or not somebody said, explain it to me to the AI, or somebody actually said to the AI, make it exactly look like this. This is what I think it means. It could be either. So this could be somebody's theory. This could be the AI's theory. I don't know. But it shows the different, realms of Stranger Things. So I just wanted to at least put it up so people could see it if they wanted to look at it. But it's got some spelling errors and it's been made by AI. But other than that, there we go. Sorry, well, did you not want me to at all, Scarlett? I told you I'd show it because you wanted people to see it. All right. So what else? I had some other thoughts and I lost my train of thought now of what it was.
Any thoughts that we cannot think of now, you can look at from Sunday.
Yeah, no, I like a lot of the art. I guess that's why I like the Upside Down too. I think it looks so cool, But yeah, I mean, was it an awful finale? No, it wasn't awful. No, it wasn't the best. It could have been better.
Fletcher thought it was awful, but if I recall, Fletcher thought the season was awful.
My first thought when it was done was, thank God it's over.
I kind of felt like I was released from a commitment.
Yes.
Not even Game of Thrones was that bad. Damn. I felt like I have okay, so I'm sorry. Thanks for correcting me, Fletcher. You didn't hate the whole season. I felt like this season was a lot. It felt, and I rewatched the previous season before. I rewatched season 4, which also is not great, right? I rewatched it, and I didn't feel as tired after that as I did after watching season 5. I think maybe Netflix chaining it to the 3 holidays made it harder, made it feel like more of a chore to me. And then also with the internet, like I was very like, I gotta watch it because I can't like get spoiled, right? And so I just felt
that's how I felt too.
Yeah.
I
you know what it is part of it too?
But I'm glad it's not. That's all I gotta say. If it was, I would have been really pissed
This,
off.
I look at it this way too. This is what we waited 2 years for.
Well,
True.
yeah. It look, it's hard to stick the landing on a big show like this that people love, right? And I mean, I'm just going to stick with Jamie. Your keyboard is so loud.
Sorry, is your keyboard really loud?
I didn't find it loud. Also,
sorry. Go ahead.
We waited 2 years for this, and I think that's part of the problem too. Is it takes you out of it for so long to immerse yourself back into it, and nobody looks like they did the last time we saw them because they've all fucking aged so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you do lose the magic of a coming of age story when all the actors have come of age in their real lives and are like all in their 20s playing like 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
It might have been after you two jumped off the other night, AJ, but we talked a little bit about shows taking so long in between seasons now, and like there are a few shows that are swinging back to like every year getting a new season, and like fans seem to be responding to that, and like why they took so long, particularly when you're dealing with child actors to I know there's a lot and there's a lot of CGI, but like movies get made faster than this, and like other like children have been growing since the dawn of television, right? And you have to work against it.
I mean, not for nothing. I mean, I know there's a lot of CGI and special effects and everything, but network television still pumps things out once a year. You know what I mean? Every year.
Yeah.
And these streaming stations, for whatever reason, are like, yeah, take your time.
Well, and I get it, yeah. And to wait this long for a piece of CGI that is that battle in the abyss is not like that. That was not great looking. And the upside down takes a lot. The upside down also was not as good looking as it has been in the past because we didn't have those set pieces in the upside down like we had in the past. I don't want to criticize the work of the effects people because I can't even like use Illustrator. It's a miracle to me that this stuff happens, right? And so I'm certainly not trying to like. It just seems like we wait a long time, and it might affect the way some of us are receiving this.
Absolutely. That was my point, basically. Mm-hmm. It's like it was funny because when Artie and I were discussing it afterwards, I used the analogy. I was like, George R.R. Martin could come out with The Winds of Winter tomorrow. I'll probably still read it, but it'll probably take me forever because I don't care anymore. That's kind of how I felt about season 5 of Stranger Things.
Yeah,
I watched it, but I didn't care anymore. And that's not to say that it didn't affect me. I mean, everybody that heard me on Sunday night, the last 2 episodes, I cried a lot. Part of that's just because I'm an old fuck now who cries at everything.
Yeah. I'm trying to see in the chat. There seems to be some.
No, there's talk about the map. I'm sorry, Scarlett. I didn't mean to upset you. I just didn't I just wanted you to understand what I was saying. That it wasn't. I misunderstood that you knew that. I thought you thought it was something it wasn't. But it's fine. It's still cool. I have nothing against it. I just was saying it depends how they do it.
Is NDB Media you or is
they're all for my chat? It's coming up. But anyway, I've just been keeping my search going while you guys were talking. I was listening, but I've been keeping my search going to see what posts have come out within the last little bit to see if anything does pop up. The only thing I could find is that there is new game content for, I forget now what the game was. It wasn't Fortnite. Dead by Daylight, that there's a chapter 2 somebody posted. And at first I saw something and I thought they said that there is a movie coming out for Stranger Things with the conclusion, but I realized it's somebody, I don't know if they are dumb or they did it because they're trying to, get clickbait, or if they didn't understand, but it seems like it's talking about the finale that was already in the theater. So so far I don't see anything that came out. So people were wrong. Yeah.
I mean, personally, I just don't see there's any way that Netflix goes out of their way to drop the finale into movie theaters and like hype it all up, and then but the actual ending is a secret episode they didn't tell anybody about. Like it just
I agree.
I have a question.
It defies
this countdown thing that everybody was talking about. Was that the TikTok thing?
No, I don't know. Scarlett had given me a link with a countdown, but I believe it was fan made because it was something cool and looked like it was official when it was out like last night. But I kind of wondered if it was like a web-mazy type thing that somebody made. But then after, it seemed to be more sarcasm on the site because it updated, which makes me think it was just something somebody made.
Well, no, because I Googled earlier today and there was something. The first thing that popped up was something about a countdown, and it was a link to a TikTok page, and you click on it and it said basically like, psych, go outside and do something for a change.
Yeah, to touch grass. That's what it is now, but that's not what it was yesterday.
Okay, then that was
might be the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can. We'll put it in the Discord. That way you guys can read it because it's kind of hard, I think, on the little thing to read it that fast.
It's just a fan made thing, and it was absolutely nothing that everybody was aware.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, look, it was cool, but if somebody made it to try to make people think that something was coming, it's kind of shitty. But I mean, it is what it is. People seem to be under the impression it was coming, no matter what they were told. So it
right.
Anyway.
Can we get on our show?
Yeah, we got anything else, or we want to move on?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Fletcher has some theories about false hydra. I didn't understand some of that. I got to go back and look at. I didn't see what you're seeing. Like I got to really go look at the screen captures to see if I see it in the picture. I didn't look enough. I got to figure it out, Fletcher. I got to look. But yeah, I think that's about it for Stranger Things, unless you guys have more. I just, like I said, I liked it, didn't love it. I watched the spinoff, but I don't feel like I need anything else. That's basically my quick answer. Yeah. And I don't think they know what conformity gate is. I was trying to read about it, and I still don't know if what I read was right because it was on Reddit. So it's hard to know about what is even accurate. Okay, well, if you guys want to do Percy Jackson, I do not have pictures for it.
I've already loaded them.
I'll hang around until you guys are ready to say goodbye and listen to you, but I'm going to go off camera.
Okay. I mean, Percy Jackson is not that complex a show. It won't take us too long to discuss it. We did not cover it last week, so there are 2 episodes here. The previous week's episode was I think it was titled Clarisse Blows Everything Up or something like that. And it's the episode where they are going into the Sea of Monsters, right? So do you remember that? Can you remember that far back, AJ?
Yes, because I just watched yesterday.
Just watched it, yeah. This episode includes a lot of flashback, and I'm not sure how I felt about it. I am sure how I felt about it. I thought it was kind of boring, unnecessary. I don't know. How'd you feel about it?
I kind of like the backstory to finally kind of like, we hear about her all the time, and we hear about, I feel like for me, I feel like seeing it, it kind of makes me understand Annabeth a little bit better, because like I've always known this story about Annabeth and Luke, and her name is blanking me right now. Valia. I've always heard the story and everything, and how that's why it was so messed up that Luke stabbed her in the tree and everything, and but kind of seeing the 3 of them together, it kind of visuals always change, I guess, your thought patterns, So I kind of like the flashback.
I hear you, especially. I'm a person who complained about having to have feelings for a tree because Thalia has only been like this tree, right, for the previous season and up until now. So I am with you there that, I think this was designed to make us like understand better why Annabeth is so invested in saving this tree, which, also protects the camp. And that's why Percy is also invested, right? They're trying to save camp. But there's a part of this flashback also. And I do like that little baby Annabeth. She's so cute. There's a part of this flashback that relates to the bracelet that Annabeth wears, which is a charm of some sort that isn't really all figured out yet, right? But we learn where this bracelet came from and why it's important to her. So that takes up a good chunk of the episode, right?
Yeah, it's most of the episode.
Most of the episode, because
half of it.
Yeah, the other half is like there's a fight with Clarisse. There's basically a fight over like who is. They're continuing to fight over the quest, right? And how they.
That was so sneaky of Annabeth to kill the three that she's like, I have this one. I don't need you guys, and then she kills them.
She's like, I have my crew, and Annabeth makes herself invisible and kills them.
And then poor Clarisse is like, does anybody else know how to sail the ship? No, anybody? Nobody? God damn it.
Yeah. And there was a good line where Clarisse says, you killed them. And Annabeth says, well, they were already dead. So not really. Right. Cause they were like, ghosts. They were like, they were ghosts they were ghosts. So of course we knew it was coming that it would end up with like all of them on the quest together. Right. Yeah. And Clarisse hates them. And they don't really like her very well. So we've got this like, it's a strange bedfellows thing going on here where the three of them are sailing this ship.
Yeah.
There's a good chunk of this time that is taken up with Annabeth. Like, is she backing out? Like, she's all worried about like decision making, and like she has this monologue about like, oh, it's not about making the big decision, it's about making all the little decisions, and it's almost like an I can't hang out with you, Percy, you're not good for the quest kind of thing, right?
She's second question. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. She's second guessing herself, and that's why the flashback comes in. We understand why she second guesses herself, because she says eventually at some point, she's like, the last time, I was on, something like this important like this was happening, I made a stupid mistake. I had a human emotion, made a stupid human mistake, and it cost Avalia her life.
It's when she dropped the bracelet. This little tiny Annabeth drops the bracelet and goes back for it. And then like Thalia has to come to her rescue to protect her. And that's how like she ends up being cursed into a tree.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's very concerned that she is not going to make good decisions. And she does say like it's not the one big decision, it's all the little decisions along the way. She's all got herself all tied up in knots, right?
Yeah.
And then so Disney didn't provide us of a picture of I just have this because we didn't get a picture of the dramatic climax, which is when they go between, they had to choose Scylla or Charybdis. They chose Scylla. It doesn't work out that well. Scylla's the monster, and then they get pushed into Charybdis, the tide.
Well, they don't get pushed. She changes her mind halfway through it, and
right,
because she didn't like all her people being taken. Meanwhile, 4 of them are already gone. You're only going to lose 2 more. You're more than halfway there. You should have just stuck with the path you were on.
She's very guilt-stricken that she promised this. She pulled an Aragorn. Yeah. Remember when Aragorn like gets the ghost sailors and promises them, if you like help me, you'll go to heaven. You go to wherever. That's what she's done, right? She's like, I promise you, go to Olympus, and then they'll get killed and don't go. She's very upset about it. So yeah, you're right. She changes her mind in mid-battle that they should bomb Charybdis, and they end up going. It was kind of a cool scene where they go up like Dorothy in the.
Yeah, I will say though that whole I kind of did like Percy goes out to control the water, and she's shooting the cannon off. Like I did enjoy that whole thing, and then Annabeth dropped the wind, and then then they went to Oz.
Yeah, Annabeth dropped the wind, so that was a Annabeth mistake again. And they the second episode, this second episode, which is called, or it's called like Cece's. They wake up and they're on this island and this person is calling herself Cece.
It's funny. I didn't see the name of the title. So when they first get there, I was like, they look like they're at a spa, and they're like, "Welcome to Cece's Resort and Spa," and I was like, "Okay, that's why it looks like a spa."
And it's like a spa for demigods who are trying to get through the Sea of Monsters, right? And you can like stay here. You got to get past the sirens, right? And so everybody hangs out in the spa like as long as you want in this spa, helping to get ready. I liked this episode because it was kind of a departure. I mean, they do in each season, at least a couple of times they go to some sort of enchanted place, whether it was like Medusa's house or different places they've been. But I liked this one. It was really kind of a different.
It was an interesting take on Cece, who turns out to be Circe.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that basically she's lonely. Hey, another character that's lonely.
Yeah. I mean, she was sent, she gets banished, and she's lonely and she has to stay there, and she's sick of people who show up and they are basically using her. Like they take her hospitality, but they all want to go to everybody leaves her basically, right? But that was her sentence, was to be alone, right?
Right.
I do love the whole dressed up demigod part of it, where these two.
Oh, I love when they first come out and they're like, "We never discussed this." What's really funny? The first thing I said, actually, though, I was really put off by the turquoise sash that he's wearing. I was like, blue is not his color.
Yeah. It's it was a interesting choice, but it fits with the sort of background and the color palette of the whole show, the whole episode rather.
The color makes sense considering he's a child of Poseidon, but it kind of put me off. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. It was a little weird. And so, boy, look how little Leah Jeffries is there next to Walker Scobell.
I know. I feel like she never looks that short until now.
She looks so tiny next to him in this whole episode. By the way, Walker Scobell just turned 17 the other day. Happy birthday. I also had to put this picture. I have another picture. His hair is so perfect. His hair is so perfect in Cece's spot. Now, my hair is just as curly as his. And I'm like, why can my hair not be as perfect? Look at those.
Because it's a wig.
He really has curly hair, but
no, he might. But there's a good chance it's still a wig for the show because it's easier to take care of. But yeah, it could be a lot of hairspray.
that's his real hair in most of the most of the shots, right? Like his hair usually looks like this, but he's perfectly coiffed in this episode. And they need to go to they need to go to the sirens. So a couple things happen here. AJ, there was not a picture. There are no pictures of Circe's animals. Did you know right away what that was all about?
I had a good feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna be Blackbeard in his crew, but
yeah.
But I had a pretty good idea what the animals were.
I mean, we know she's a witch and she has all these animals in her office. When Percy figures out what she's up to, keeping people there, she turns him into a guinea pig, which I kind of loved.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. And it was fun, but it didn't go on that long. It went on just long enough to be kind of fun, and then we didn't have to have a lot of guinea pigs.
Yeah, it was so funny when you get the caption from the guinea pig that says "Call me Ed," and I was like, black guinea pig, there's a bunch of guinea pigs. I was like, I said to Artie, I was like, wouldn't it be? I was like, I wonder if it's going to be Blackbeard when they, and it was.
You are good, AJ. You are good. Yeah, I mean, they did. These are always tight episodes, right? They keep it really tight. He's only a guinea pig for a very short amount of time. Annabeth figures it out. I mean, she's the daughter of Athena. She's a thinker, and they get right out there on this ship and try to run past the sirens. How'd you like? There's not a picture of the sirens, and I didn't cap it, right? I just do what Disney puts in the dump, and they didn't put a picture of the sirens. I've always thought of the sirens as actual beautiful women, right? And
well,
these
the sirens are anything you think they are. So, I mean, it's interesting to depict them as basically rock creatures stuck on the island.
Yeah.
It's an interesting, and yeah. I'm sure there's a reason for that. I'm sure. I mean, it could be something that Rick Riordan, thought, you know what, I'm going this direction with it, or it could be something, somewhere else in mythology that depicts them that way that he pulled from.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sirens, most people say they're these beautiful looking women because that's what these sailors lost at sea have. Oh, it's what they're thinking about,
Yeah.
So that's what they see.
Yeah.
I gotta say, they got me. They really got me. I was like, I was like, how the fuck does Annabeth get out of this? And then you see that she it looks like she fooled them the whole time, and her plan was just to get close so she could take him out. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. And then when Athena showed up, I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I didn't see that coming. And then, coming to find out that it's all in her head. That they made her, that they actually, her biggest fear still is her mother not loving her.
Yeah.
So it just all played in. Yeah. And that was so smart of Percy with a rope.
Yeah. Tie himself to the ship. That was pretty smart. I mean, it's a little, like tons of people have not made it. Like they showed the underwater, all the ruined ships.
Yeah.
So I like that. So it was had been announced. People knew that Andra Day was going to play Athena, right? Which is kind of interesting. You didn't know. So did you recognize her right away?
Yeah, I knew who it was.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people know her more for her singing career than her acting career, but she, is a great actress also. So I actually didn't know it was Andra Day either, but it was only later I, saw online that when I went in the Disney press kit, it had been announced for a long time. But I thought it was pretty cool. I like the way, she's got the long hair, and she's got I like the way the laurels kind of mirror the Annabeth's it doesn't look like it here, but I feel like her hairstyle kind of mimics the way Annabeth sometimes wears her hair. And that was great. But as is typical of this show, they have these amazing guest stars who deliver 4 lines and then leave, right?
Yeah.
Megan Mullally was in season 1. She's gone. Lin-Manuel Miranda shows up once or twice. So yeah, I thought that was all really, that was kind of fun. We did have a little bit of what's here. Meanwhile, Clarisse just happens to wash up. She's not dead. She washes up on the island where poor Grover is being kept as a child bride to the Cyclops.
who turns out not to be as stupid as they think he is.
Yeah. Which we should have guessed. I mean, Tyson is he half Cyclops, or Tyson is not pure Cyclops, right? So maybe
I don't even understand how Tyson is a Cyclops. I'm a little confused on that.
And also a son of Poseidon.
Because he's a son of Poseidon, and his mother is a shit. Starts with an N.
A naiad? She's a naiad.
Yes, naiad.
Yeah, and somehow
I'm a little confused why he's a Cyclops.
Yeah.
I don't understand something about how that works. But and I gotta say, it's because Tyson isn't like a mean monster Cyclops, because all the other Cyclops we've seen on this show are very scary looking.
Yeah. I deleted Tyson's picture from last week's episode, and he didn't come up in this week's dump. But
everybody else, Polythesis looked really,
yeah,
he didn't look like Tyson. Just looked silly as a Cyclops, whereas Polythesis looked good.
because he looks like a monster. He looks like an ogre, right? Yeah. Like Tyson just looks like a kid with one eye, which I mean, one eye is a Cyclops, but yeah. So we get Grover and Charisse like a little bit of like bonding, like trying to escape, trying to figure it out, right? But it turns out that the Cyclops was, playing dumb. It was a good twist. The Cyclops playing dumb the whole time.
I like when he, it's funny when he first came back in and Grover didn't put the veil over his face. I thought, why isn't Grover putting the veil over his face? And then it actually played into. He goes, "You're not a Cyclops."
Yeah. So, and then at the end, our other two, these two, where's their picture? These two finally get to the island. This is an old picture of them, but they roll up on the island also, right?
Yeah.
And
so the only question I have is, where's Tyson? Because we know he's not dead either.
I know they don't seem that concerned, but I guess they just assume he's dead. But yeah, where's he? He must have washed up someplace else, right? Although I feel like he's going to show up and be critical. In helping them
I'm sure he's on the island somewhere. He just hasn't been spotted yet. But the title of the next episode is "No One Gets the Fleece."
Okay, so
I feel like the title though is going to be something that Polythesis says to them.
Yeah, and then they're going to get. I mean, we know they're going to get it. So.
Or maybe they don't. Maybe they don't, and camp falls apart and things change. Who knows how it's going to play out?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read these books. I don't know where it's going. So that's it. I mean, that's this show is enjoyable. I enjoy watching it. There's not. Yeah,
it's fun. And I mean, I've always liked Greek and Roman mythology and everything. So for me, just fun.
It's not a water cooler show. We are not a primary audience for this show.
No.
Scarlett says, I watch any show with Greek mythology in it. It's my thing or one of my things. And it's a quick, I don't know. I don't see the beginning part of this conversation. If Scarlett has watched, Scarlett even watches Krapopolis.
I love Krapopolis.
Yeah. She watches
you wouldn't like Krapopolis. It's from the creator of Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, I would hate it. Even Scarlett says it isn't very funny most of the time. She watches it for the mythology. But yeah, Scarlett, I think Percy Jackson is an easy catch up. The episodes are
half hour to 45 minutes.
Yep, 30 to 45 minutes. Only 8 episodes per season, so you can easily binge the first season and these 5 and catch up before the season finale if you wanted to. It's fun.
Assuming you have more time than Jamie, who still hasn't watched any.
Yeah. I mean,
shut up.
There.
I am listening to you.
I mean, these are young adult books and really more tweeny kind of books, right? And so, we're not the primary audience, but it's not. It doesn't.
Like Artie read them all. Damon's on the second book. Junie read them when she was a kid.
Yeah, I think my nephew read them. So yeah, if you like mythology, check it out.
All right, gang. That is our show for tonight.
That is a long show tonight. We will be shorter next week. Because next week we have Percy Jackson.
No Pluribus.
We have
one Percy, 2 Runaway, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't think anything new is coming this week. I think we have to wait till the end of the month for some more new stuff. But
I think I don't know what else we got in between, but I think the next thing I know of is 2 months away, and that's no, I take that back, not 2 months, about a month away.
Paradise.
Paradise is coming, and I assume we're going to do a show for it. But I assumed we were going to do for the Marvel shows too. Both Wonder Man and Daredevil is coming.
Oh, I keep forgetting. Well, Daredevil's not till March.
Right, but Wonder Man is the end of this month. So
I keep forgetting about Wonder Man. Yeah, well, I am not holding my breath on Wonder Man being good. So the only chance of that show is getting a pleasant surprise. I am not expecting much from it.
It still could be good. Who knows? It's still worth
Could be.
watching, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm planning on watching it, and we'll talk about it. But
To answer Debbie, yes, the two of them will be covering it on Fandom Access on Tuesdays. I will not because I don't watch it, but they will be covering
What?
Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean Starfleet Academy?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Starfleet Academy. I assume that's what you mean.
When does that start?
It's embargoed until Thursday, so I think it comes Thursday or Friday, right?
I don't know. Sometimes the embargo is before.
Hang on, I'll tell you right away. Hang on. Let me
Oh, and actually, are we actually? Wait, we might have another show. Are we talking about? Are we covering the Night Manager?
Oh, Night Manager.
Which starts on the 11th.
Yeah.
Debbie says that Star Trek's on the 15th. So,
Right,
yeah,
Star Trek for 2 weeks.
Those two. But also Karen is doing interviews for some of the Star Trek stuff.
Tomorrow I have an interview with Tig Notaro, Robert Picardo, and Gina Nachere, who are like,
you only have 4 minutes.
I know, and then I have 4 minutes with Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landau, who are the
That's right. My interview today went from 10 minutes to 5 minutes.
You never know what's going to happen. Really, you don't. So
anyway,
look for those interviews on our video page for YouTube as well as on scifivision.com. And also there'll be some other interviews popping up soon, like I said too before. Hunting Party. Why do I not have my list in front of me? Hunting Party, Riot Women, Dead Man's Wire. Those all have interviews coming. Hijack one I was doing got canceled, so I don't know what's up with that, but that will
for Hijack.
For Hijack, yeah, I had a Hijack interview on Friday that got canceled.
Oh my god, season 1 of Hijack was so good. I can't wait.
But season
2, anybody that hasn't seen the Night Manager from 10 years ago with Tom Hiddleston and
from 10 years ago
and Hugh Laurie and Hugh Laurie, it's on Prime right now. It's 6 episodes. And as soon as you start episode 1, you'll sit there for 6 hours, like I did.
Yeah,
all right, that's not totally true. That's not totally true. I started watching it. I watched the first 2 episodes, and the next day I watched the next 4.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll be covering all that stuff coming up. But next week will be short. And like I said, we'll be having our spotlight interview series pretty soon as well. As soon as we get that set up, which should be pretty soon. But yeah, look for all those things and for our interviews, and let us know what you want to see in Discord. I didn't even post the link. I usually do. I think everybody though at this point that comes is usually already on the Discord, but sometimes we see new people, so you never know. So if you haven't joined, make sure you do, and you can get our schedule and everything else. And yeah, stay tuned for updates and all that good stuff. And I think, let's see, our next show, I guess, let's see. We don't have anything till Monday when Scarlett and I have The Artist coming up.
Wait, on which channel? You mean which channel is Starfleet Academy on? It is on Paramount. If you mean the Night Manager, that's on Amazon Prime, right?
Yes.
If you mean Hijack, that was on
Apple.
Yeah. That was on Apple.
Yeah. Yes.
So you have to buy all the streamers to
basically.
Yeah.
It seems like it, doesn't it? But we will be back on Monday. We at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we have a watch party for The Artist finale, and then at 11 is the live stream. And Debbie, to answer the interviews, all that's on SciFi Vision. It's all on this channel, SciFi Vision.
scifivision.com.
Yeah, scifivision.com and the SciFi Vision channel on YouTube. If you want,
good point.
Yeah, they'll go up there.
Assuming that you're watching it on SciFi Vision. If you're watching it on NDB Media, you got to go over to SciFi Vision. The interviews aren't there, but they're all on SciFi.
So the interview's tomorrow, and it takes a couple days for them to send me. Like they record it and send us the video, and then Jamie has to edit it, and we have to get it up. So it takes a bit. But yeah, you can find all our interviews on the video tab. There's tons of them from to all kinds of other things. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out or checked scifivision.com out, please make sure you do.
because there's stuff there that isn't on YouTube that isn't video as well. So we don't always get video, unfortunately. It's better, but it doesn't always happen. So yeah, I guess that's it, guys. I hope you're having a good week, and we'll see you Monday, and then again on Tuesday for Fandom Access.
Okay.
Sayonara.
All right. Bye.
Bye,
Guys.
Good night.
Thanks for coming.